Hello, everybody, and welcome to the town hall meeting. This is episode number 11. I'm going to be joined by three gentlemen with me this week. I'm going to introduce each of you guys, and you can tell me if I got it right. So, Kendric used to be a Heroes of the Storm commentator and host. Now casts Warcraft 3, mostly the Fight Nights, and also as a podcast Warcraft 3 related. Anything you want to add? And how are you doing?
Perfect. Smooth as silk, man.
We got KraV, who is a French Undead player currently competing in the national EPS France. And I heard a old school player as well from Reign of Chaos. Like, I'm not super familiar with you. Is that right?
Yes, it's right, Todd. It's right.
And we got Sayso from New Zealand, a random / undead supposedly main player who plays in the NA tournaments and also in the, I guess, in the Down Under area. How are you doing?
Yeah, that's correct.
Anything else to add to that?
No, that sounds good.
You actually you're not full-time Warcraft 3, right? You got a job.
Yeah, no, I definitely have a job, so it's just after work and on weekends.
Oh, may I ask
at
what you do?
lockdown at the moment. Medical sales rep.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably a busy time right now. All right, let's go right into it then. First topic is going to be, as always, the Reforged. I guess it used to be the launch, but like we're pretty far away from that. But then again, you guys are first time guests on the show. So if there's something that you want to talk about Reforged, whether it was the launch or what you'd like to see added as a priority to the game, now is the time to talk about it. Kendric, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, I think about that topic, everything has been said and done. I think at this point, I would love to see Blizzard just make an honest statement and be like, yo guys, we can't do it. We can't give you a ladder anymore. We can't give you this and that anymore. But we're going to officially endorse Pat and his crew. So I want that to be on the Battle.net launcher. I want that to be somehow integrated into the game so everybody can see it. I think that would honestly be the cheapest and the best way for them to get out of the shithole like that they've created.
What about you, Sayso?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the pads ladder. I think that's done pretty much what people wanted for Reforged. I think if they could make that, endorsed or just do the same thing themselves and then add 2v2 and 3v3 and 4v4 and whatever else, then it would be a good system.
Pay him some really good money.
Yeah.
What happened to
I mean,
KraV?
if they did that with later seasons, it would be awesome.
What's happened to KraV? Oh my gosh, this guy's
He's gone? Yeah, he's gone. The video, though, still on Discord.
KraV, are you
Yeah,
there?
I'm still.
He might have his internet might have dropped or something.
Mm.
Well, I'll answer for him now. I guess we'll wait until he's back. But anything else you guys want to add about Reforged? Like you said, I guess, Kendric, we've kind of covered it, but
yeah.
Do you think at this point it's very clear and the entire community agrees what it is that we'd like to be added to the game the most?
The thing is, honestly, I think they've maneuvered themselves in this situation where nothing they do or they say could possibly be good. Even if they delivered, let's say they delivered all the things that we wanted, like a ladder, clan profile, and all that shit. I still think people would be giving them a lot of bad press and a lot of negative feedback, and rightfully so. So I think at this point, they just need to be honest and maybe just, make a statement and say how badly it has gone, and maybe they can explain the situation, although nobody's going to believe them. I think them just falling full silent is not a good way.
Sayso? You agree?
Yeah, well, I think it's been horrible, their lack of communication. I think it's looked really bad on them. That Pad's done a whole ladder in about a month. That's a lot better than anything they've done. And it's sort of functioning perfectly. And it's 4 or 5 months later, and Blizzard still hasn't done anything in terms of a ladder. So
what's going on in the company when one person, one man, or maybe two, can do so much in such little time, and a freaking multi-million-dollar company can't even communicate about it. Like I just don't get it.
Do you guys think that we still need a ladder from Blizzard now that Pat has made this amazing ladder? I think that's a
No.
very good question because like
Yeah.
we're still saying it on the show like we want Blizzard to add a ladder, but like we've pretty much
Yeah.
already got one.
Yeah.
I mean, I
make
think the
it,
ladder's-
Sorry, go.
I think the ladder's perfect the way that Pad's done it, but it's not too accessible. A lot of people don't know how to use
Yeah.
it and don't know how to set it up and don't really want to use a third-party program. So there's a lot of players that just won't play Warcraft because they have to use a third party.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put it in the launcher, put it on the website, in the forums, and just make it a part of the game at this point. You know, that everybody, like you said, Sayso, everybody can access it. You know, you log into the Warcraft 3 launcher client and you see the name right there, boom, and you just click on it. Because I think the third party aspect is preventing a lot of casual players that don't have the time or the resources to dive on Reddit, you know, and check it out there. And I looked it up on Google myself recently, and you don't find it immediately on the top. So if they can somehow help him there with optimizations and stuff, I think that's the least Blizzard could do at this point.
Yeah, now that we've got a ladder from Pads, and like you mentioned, you wanted some communication from Blizzard, Kendric. I feel like from a big company, that's just probably not gonna happen that way. Like you know, realistically, right? With the way Reforge went, and you know the ratings and all the flag that the game caught, it seems like almost for sure, like the support that the game is gonna get from that point onwards is certainly gonna be as big as we would like. But if we're talking like realistic things that could be added and like maybe communicated about at some point, like whether it's in the near future or like in a more distant one, I personally, on top of that list as a priority, I would put adding more servers as number one. And like the first one that comes to mind is US East, but there is like, I think the Southeast Asia region, like these guys could use a server. God damn, like they're playing on NA all the time with like garbage ping. Maybe one more over in Europe would be nice as well somewhere. Maybe like Eastern Europe, so that these guys don't have to lag playing on West Europe all the time. And what else can you guys think of other than like some servers? I guess a reconnect feature would be nice for tournaments, yeah? If there's a drop.
I was gonna say,
Reconnect and save.
Yeah, make the game esports ready for the next bigger tournament. I mean, in Anaheim, that was borderline unwatchable / uncastable. I guess you were there live in person, Todd. It was very hard, I guess, for you guys to keep not only like focus on the games with all those disconnects, but also like keep a mental attitude, you know, not to let it get to you, because it's really hard to reset and then cast the same game over and over without shitting on Blizzard on their tournament, you know. So yeah, just for, I think DreamHack Summer is the next one. Just make it watchable at least.
Yeah, it's hard to tell actually if this is even going to happen currently because with the situation with COVID-19, like I guess that's obviously somewhat of another topic, but and maybe an important one, I guess, in esports, because like how we can't really go back to like normalcy, right? Like big gathering events are very unlikely to happen in the very near future, and if they do happen, they're going to be vastly different. There's going to be a lot of space in between everybody, right? I saw a photo of exams in South Korea. I don't know if that's real, but it was in a football stadium, looked like, and there was like, I guess 1.5 to 2 meters between each desk. And they were like super spread out across the stadium and just like on their desk and writing for their exam and stuff. So it might just be the future, I guess. Like imagine there is like a Warcraft 3 tournament again now, like that was in Anaheim, but this time in Sweden. There's just gonna have to be a lot of space between everybody, a lot of like hand sanitizer everywhere, and like very clear instructions on how to be careful around that. But it's not impossible. It feels like that's what we're headed towards.
Yeah. I mean, right now GSL has started again in Korea, and they're playing their live, I guess without an audience still, but it's doable. I mean, if you maybe don't let as many people inside the venue, you make sure that everybody has enough space, the players, the viewers, the casters, and all that, and you just, you know, give more hand sanitizers. I mean, gamers want to be left alone for the most part anyways. For them, it must be the best tournament then. You know, it's not going to be that hot. Todd? You know, it's not going to be that warm with many people in there.
It could be, but yeah, I think there's a chance it's not going to be. We're not going to be all clumped up like in that one tournament where I complained to take in the interview. We're there, like, it was absurd. We were like in a very, very tiny space, all together, Warcraft 3 and Counter-Strike right behind us, shouting to each other like crazy every time they won a round. I thought I was going to have to fight one of them any second because they were yelling. But yeah, I guess a little bit more space maybe is not so bad. But logistically, I guess for tournaments, it's also not going to be so easy to make that happen, to have like all that space that they would like, which was the initial problem, I guess, way back then. So what do we have? The extra servers, a reconnect feature, anything else major you guys can think of?
I think if they ran later seasons, that would be pretty fun as well. Just makes people play when they run the later seasons with the tournament at the end. Even if it's just all online, it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, you said you play on also on W3 Champions, but I'm guessing you play on the NA1. Like, what's your ping there?
It's actually pretty good. I'm using a ping reducer called Exit Lag, and I'm getting about 170 ping, 180 ping, which is pretty good for me. Like, it's not ideal.
170
You probably
is pretty
look at
good. Ooh, I wish I had your optimism.
It's like riding a bike on the highway saying, oh, it's pretty good. I can go 25.
It's better than if I was walking, I guess. 170, yeah.
I mean, I used to play BNet on East with 250.
Yeah.
So it feels pretty good compared to that.
If there was,
and even NetEaters.
If there was a server, let's say in Australia, how much ping would you have?
Like 25, 20.
And
so there used to be an Australian server when there was host bots, and we'd be able to play local tournaments on like 20 ping. So they really should add that again.
do you think that the player base in Southeast Asia is big enough to justify getting a server there?
Yeah, I think so. I think and it's growing quite quickly at the moment because there's a weekly cup and other tournaments that are starting to happen. So we're starting to see players play again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be great if that were to be added.
I mean, in StarCraft 2 and in Overwatch, they both have an Oceanic server, so it's definitely there and possible. They just need to add it.
Yeah. I always wondered about the cost. I feel like it would be nice on the show to eventually get like some programmers and developers that know about this stuff, but I'd heard maybe vaguely before that one server might just cost like €50 or something, which is not a crazy amount. You know, like,
Pad was saying it's a cheap, easy thing to do.
Yeah.
You just got to save every buck these days, you know? Oof.
there is a chance that host bots come back if somebody works on it, because apparently Pat did some tests and he said that they were working for him. He found a way to make them work, but he doesn't have the time to work on it because he's already working on W3 Champions plus W3 Booster, so he's already got enough on his plate. So maybe somebody else will look into it. I do know that I reached out to Bidu because he's one of the main affected guys with his team Dust that can't really compete in European tournaments currently, whereas if there was at least an East server, the NA versus Europe, the never-ending clash across all esports titles finally could continue, and then we could see those games on a regular basis. And I gotta say, I kind of miss that, you know, like seeing that on a fair ping. Like, I think Kendric, you know a lot about this too, right? Because like, remember Heroes, there was also the NA versus Europe thing where like we always wanted to see these guys play. Obviously, there was more offline tournaments, but
I mean, you don't want to give the NA teams the excuse to hide behind ping issues, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta take that away from them.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about cups then. Cups and tournaments news, our next topic here. And there's quite a few we're going to talk about, but while Kendric is here, I thought it'd be ideal to talk about the fight nights that take place every Friday late at night. So there's been 23 of them in total so far by the look of things. And the last one was Side versus Neutron. I got to catch a little bit of those games. They were really great. Anything that you can share about, you know, how this came to be, like you're casting with Grubby, I guess you've known him for some time. Like, tell us the whole story.
I've been in touch with Grubby since Heroes, you know, and there is a Heroes organization called Heroes Hearth, and basically they ran their own website, you know, with hero builds and forums, and people can make their own guides and stuff like that. And at some point when Heroes Esports got shut down and all that jazz, another glorious act of Blizzard, by the way, when they shut down all that, many people started branching out, and so did they. So they branched out in different games. So now they're doing TFT, which is the Riot auto battler. Then they're doing Warcraft 3, which I was very happy to be part of. And then I think they're going to do some other Riot games as well. So yeah, that's basically it. And they're now this multi-game company doing some sick content and really supporting a lot of people out there. So shout outs to Heroes Hearth. And yeah, and this is basically it. So they reached out to Grubby, they reached out to me, and we came up with this fun idea. And every second Friday now, we've been doing this with very few exceptions when one of us didn't have time or there was a holiday in there. And man, you mentioned it, Todd, last episode. Whew, that was, we basically just changed the format from best of 5 to best of 7 to cover a little bit more time, for that one stream. And just when we introduced that, these two mother truckers had to go all the way to game 7.
Yeah.
So it was epic.
And even the way it went, apparently, Side was up 2-0, and then Neutron was up 3-2, and then Side was like, nope, 4-3.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, and we said it because Neutron normally takes a little bit of time to get rolling. So first game he didn't look that good. Then it looked like he found his rhythm, and Side was without a chance. Then Side, he turned full Mad Frog and just switched to Ghouls and Garriks all the way. Even played one hero only. I think it was Decay only. And he just lamed his way to victory. It wasn't the prettiest victory, but it was certainly very entertaining because of Neutron's reactions.
Yeah, and so you guys, can you take us through the evolution of it? Like you started with NA-based players. I'm guessing that's because it's at somewhat of a late hour. So the first one initially had Hunter and Insuperable playing. That was that 1 year ago?
I think it was maybe even longer than a year ago at this point. It said, in the flyer it says begins April 19. So I guess it's exactly 1 year. So yeah, last year when we started this off, we invited NA-based players because of the time, and we basically still have this late time for Europeans to watch because of the company being NA-based, and all the other stream slots are kind of taken, and it's a good mix for NA viewers and EU viewers, So yeah, man, it started off with Hunter. I'm not even sure. I think he recently came back and played some Warcraft 3 again. And
he's playing a bit later.
Oh, you've seen him around?
Yeah, I played him a couple of times on the NA ladder, and I saw he's playing on the Europe one as well, so he's playing a bit.
Cool. He still got it?
Yeah, he's getting there. I mean, I think I'm better than I was a year ago, so I actually won the game we played, but he used to beat me almost all the time, so...
Yeah, and then we had in Super Bowl when he was in baby shoes, when he wasn't as good as he then became. Yeah, we had some interesting characters. Really, we had Night End, gracing us with his charmful presence. Yeah, it was fun. And then we branched out more into EU and invited more players. One day, I want to invite some Asians too, if they're up for it.
Yeah,
that would be sick. But of course, that's a little bit hard
Asians
to organize.
Against North American and Europeans, or just like for example, Koreans against Koreans.
Yeah, I think to keep it Asian only would make more sense ping wise, and to keep it more balanced.
It feels like you guys switch a lot to Europe for a long time. Like only European
let's
players.
Be honest, we had to. If we wanted to improve quality, we had to, right? No disrespect. Actually, one of the coolest champions and one of the best players to provide it with awesome games was Hitman. He put up really good show. He's to this day the longest reigning champion, Hitman. He won 4 times in a row, and he beat some really good players actually before he lost to Neutron. And even Cruncher played really well too. So these guys I would put back in the show any day.
And at what time is it exactly? It's at 2 a.m. or something like that, right?
It's currently around midnight CST.
Oh, okay, it's not so bad. And before the daylight saving or whatever changed, it was 1 a.m.?
Yeah, and I asked Grubby, and we decided to move it 1 hour earlier so more people from Europe could hop on it.
Yeah, okay. And it's not quite every Friday though, right?
Every second Friday.
Every second Friday, okay. Well, there you go, guys. And like, where can people find out infos about it? Like, who's playing next and stuff? Is there specific accounts they should follow?
Yeah, you can go on Twitter and follow Heroes Hearth Warcraft 3. That is usually the best source for Fight Night and YouTube stuff. And there's a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Heroes Hearth. You can follow that one and just tune in every second Friday, or even check out the other games that they're covering. So that's pretty cool.
I'm here, guys. The comeback.
Hey, salut!
The comeback of the soldier. No, sorry, I'm playing on the old laptop, so sometimes it's crazy.
Yeah.
Really sorry.
We talked about the Reforged launch and release earlier. Like, is there anything you want to share about, I guess, what you would like to see added in Reforged? Like, we pretty much agreed that, you know, a ladder would be nice, but we already got Pad's ladder. So I said, like, maybe some new servers and maybe a way to reconnect if, like, you disconnect in game, I think would be very nice. Is there anything else you can think of, or you think these are, like, the priorities?
Yes, it's nice. And maybe new maps, because it's 10 years we play the same map. So I think a new map can be good.
Yeah.
For more motivation and for the new players. Why not?
Is there any specific maps in the map pool that you think should be gone, or?
I don't know. Just create a new one and let's try to play on this map, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe the profile, you can't check the profile.
Profile is important.
Your profile.
You think?
Maybe for all person like me. But yes, why not?
Yeah. Okay, so we already started talking about tournaments. We just talked about Fight Nights. Anything else you want to add, Kendric?
KraV, Sayso, you want to join one day?
Oh.
Yeah, I'd definitely be keen to play. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Cool. I'll keep you guys in mind. Would you say you have what it takes to beat Side?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, Undead Mirror is definitely not my best, but it could happen.
I don't think KraV understood.
No, well,
KraV, do you think you can beat Side in a best of 7?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
They played recently, actually.
I'm here.
All right, let's move on to the next tournament that we're going to talk about. It is the Tavern Brawl number 1 with $100 for the winner. It's organized by Taker. And there is a Matcherino page as well. It's crowdfunded. The first one just happened. That was yesterday, the 13th. And it looks like Sheik was able to defeat Sonic in the finals. Kiwikaki and Agent made it to the semifinals, so it was pretty competitive. And yeah, it looks like a fun tournament. Did you guys catch any of the games?
Yeah, it was really fun actually, and we didn't expect the roster to be this stacked. Cash unfortunately had some internet issues, so he couldn't continue.
Yeah.
But Agent, man, he beat Blade.
Oh yeah, you cast this. That's right.
I cast it with Lado, Lado and Taker.
You're fortunate. Lado is a excellent co-caster to have.
He's completely unbiased and will never lose his temper.
And the good thing is you don't have to feel a lot when he's casting because he's talking all the time. No, Lado's great. Apparently, Taker uploaded the VODs to YouTube. He shared it to his Twitter. So Tower Taker with a 3. Check him out on Twitter, and the VODs you can find there as well. So what was your favorite series or games from the tournament, Kendric?
Man, when Sheik played against Kiwikaki, so the rules were you could only pick Tavern Heroes, and it caused some interesting styles. Nobody thought that Undeads would prevail because, you know, what are they without DK and Aura? You know, everybody says, what can they do? But Sheik just picked... I don't want to spoiler too much, but he picked one hero most of the time and then just avoided fighting and just did his thing, you know, running straight past the army, straight into the base, and then TPing out. And he did that several times, just harassing, and drove... I'm pretty sure it drove Kiwi quite insane.
I'm curious, what hero? I need to check those buzz later.
So
I saw the last game, and
so
he had like a level 9.
He played a lot of Panda and a lot of Tinker, and very frequently these heroes went all the way to 10.
Wow. Isn't Night Elf supposed to be the race with neutral heroes with like Moonwells and everything?
They had the most players. And Sonic was there. He beat him. He played AJK before. He beat him. Yeah, he kicked all the Night Elves out with Undead.
And KraV, you didn't play that tournament, the Tavern Brawl that took place yesterday?
Yes, I did. I lose against Please. I play Panda first on the CH map.
Oh, it was best of one. Right?
Yes, best of one. Yes.
Until quarters.
Yes, a bit. Yes, maybe should have be good if best of three, but I understand. But yes, it's a cool tournament. Really nice to play it. I enjoy it.
Wait a second, Blade lost to Blast?
Yeah, Blast or Agent, one of the two.
How did that happen?
Uh,
Yeah, some interesting results.
But-
Actually, very competitive bracket. Now that I have a look at it again, there were so many strong players.
Yeah, Little
Johnny
DC
Cage.
was.
Yeah, Johnny
Blast
Cage.
is a monster, guys. Really.
Yeah.
Aha. A god.
I guess Sayso, you can't really take part in these tournaments, right? The ping would just be crazy if you have to play EU host.
Yeah, I mean, it's mainly the time as well. Like it started at 3 a.m. New Zealand time, so it's very late. And playing on an EU host is like 350 ping, so
Yeah.
it's really difficult actually to play with Europeans now because if they play on a North American host, they get like 250, and if I play on Europe, I get like 350. So it's pretty bad both ways. There's no like, whereas East host used to be kind of fair, where I get like 200-ish and I get 200-ish, and you could actually play together.
Yeah, so there was 55 players in this one, and the next one's already scheduled, Kendric, do you know? Or?
I think Taker knows more than me. But we definitely want to do a second one. So, he gathered a lot of prize pool through Metro Reno,
Yeah.
and he capped it at 100, and the remaining money will already go into episode 2. So I'm definitely expecting another one. Maybe even with modified rules. You know, if he wants to throw in some other rules in there and make it like really crazy.
What would be crazier than only Tavern Heroes? Random Heroes? We did that one time,
Yeah.
Random Race, Random Heroes, a long time ago in Mookup or something. And then I got Undead, and like I got like a Warden first. I was like, okay, well, I'm dead. He was against Hawk or something round 2. I was like, okay, well, I'm dead, I guess. All right.
What did he get? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I remember he got something viable compared to me, and then I got obliterated. So the next one is the Back to Warcraft Weekly Cup, which replaces the Rising Star Cup and the Global Clan Cup as well on Saturdays, organized by Back to Warcraft. They've got a match arena where they crowdfund the prize pool as well. And I believe actually that for the last one, somebody donated $100, so he was like the actual sponsor for the tournament. I think he was maybe Enraged Liam, if I remember correctly. And in that one, only players of less than 2,100 yellow can play. So that's basically no Foggy, Hawk, Blade, X-Lord, all these guys. Sadly, I can't play it either myself. And Please was able to win, actually. So some Night Elf success against TGW in the finals, who played some human and some undead throughout his run in the tournaments. So the semifinals, Please beat Bizarre 2-1. And the Great Wall beat Switch 2-0, and then Please 3-0 the Great Wall in the grand finals. Did you guys catch these games? Were you playing KraV?
Mhm.
Did you?
No, I don't. I don't play this one.
Why?
I don't think. No.
Why not?
Because I have a kid and I need to be with him sometimes. This is why.
Yeah. And Kendric, did you catch any of these games?
I watched a fair bunch of it. Yes. I was really impressed by Please, to be honest. I think he has what it takes to be the number 2 Night Elf next to Foggy. So I hope he continues his practice and his momentum. I think he's really good.
What is this? The Great Wall beat Ante with Beastmaster first on Echo Eye? Is that
Yeah, I'm looking
accurate?
at that.
Mhm.
He looks like Beastmaster, Archmage, and Alchemist.
Oh yeah, I just saw. I didn't see that match.
Yeah, seems like I missed a hell of a game.
NT Dreadlord expanded, and then he just kept rushing on with Beastmaster. It was a pretty fun game.
And the Great Wall beat Switch with Crypt Lord, Pit Lord, and Death Knight. What is going on in those games? Like some crazy stuff happening in this tournament apparently. And then the Great Wall decided to play human again in the finals and got 3-0 by Please. Yeah, interesting results. If you guys want to support this tournament or find out about it, make sure you follow Back to Warcraft, and I believe they have a page somewhere which I'd written. Let me check. Infos and results. Yeah, they have a challenge page where you can sign up in advance for like the next tournament and everything, and they also do crowdfunding on Matcherino if you want to check it out and support it as well. Next. So what's after Saturday? Sunday, ESL Open Cup 11. This one not yellow locked for anybody. Anybody could play, and everybody did play for the most part. Unfortunately, I ran into Hawk in the quarterfinals. Like it's been happening way too much, and I lost. But yeah, happy against Hawk in the semis. Happy extended his record against Hawk to, I think it's like 33-2 or 34-2 now at this point. And in the other semi, Foggy beat Blade 2-0, and then in the finals, Happy beat Foggy 3-0. This is getting a little boring and repetitive, isn't it? To like see this all the time. Kendric, like, what do you think?
I was so sure that Foggy would make the perfect race on his birthday and beat him finally, but sadly it didn't work out. Happy, no mercy, man. Not even on the birthday he can show some mercy. But it was a cool cup. Sadly, Hawk didn't find more crystal balls against you, right? Otherwise, you'd have advanced.
Yeah, he got the good items against me for the most part.
Was that against you where you left?
No. It was against Happy. Game 1.
Ah, yeah, against Happy.
I wish. Damn. He got a mana pendant against me when he went MK first, as always. KraV, did you play this one?
I played too many tournaments. No, I don't think
you
I
did?
played this one too. Yes, I do. Yes, this one I free win Blast.
Why?
Because I have to go, but I play the game random. Orc against Night Elf. I win it, and I give him the win. Because I can't continue.
Well, you beat him with Orc and then you gave him the win?
Yes, I do.
Why are you trying to humiliate that man? Why couldn't you play?
I love random, really.
Yeah, but why didn't you play?
Because again, my kid, really. It take me so much time.
Okay.
Is it old enough yet to play Warcraft 3?
What?
How old is your kid?
He's soon 20 years. 20, what? What the 2 years? Sorry. Whoa, sorry. I was in my.
So, three more years, and he can play Warcraft 3.
I don't know. Probably not.
All right, let's go to. Wait, Sayso, did you catch any of those games or?
No, I didn't. I haven't really been watching the Happy vs. Foggy games anymore. I feel like we've seen that series just so many times.
Yeah. If you
So I
know
quite
it's
like
happening,
that.
you don't watch it?
Yeah, if I know it's happening, I don't watch it. Like, Happy always plays the same, and Foggy always plays the same, and Happy always wins. That's sort of how I see it happen.
Okay, let's go to next one. The We Play at Home Cup 3, which is hosted by goodgame.ru. So it's region locked to Russia. And Cooper actually got the victory in this one, winning $135. He beat Hawk in the grand finals.
Damn.
Definitely one of the favorites to do well. Hawk supposedly in those tournaments, especially because Happy cannot play them. But apparently Cooper, I saw some of those games. He plays a lot of Blade Master and he's pretty good with it. So he played Blade Master 3 times. And apparently it's not all about the Farseer, guys. The Blade Master still got it, and Cooper is one of the better users of it that we have over in Europe. You guys caught any of that? Or?
No, I wish I had, though. Some Blade Master action looks sick, actually. Maybe I might watch the replays.
Some hack and slash all over the place.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been struggling myself against Blade Master, and I was like, it's weird. Like, I kind of want to see how other humans can deal with it. And then I see Hawk against Cooper, I'm like, perfect. And then he loses 2-1. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, what's up with orcs lately, man? They're showing up. Fly 100%. He's doing so well at the moment as well.
Is?
So, yeah, he played really
Yeah, he
well
was.
in one of the Was it the Africa qualifiers? Yeah, I think those were the ones.
Okay, actually, wait, we might go through that next. Let's keep looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Noobcraft Gozu Series Tournament number 1. By the look of things, I only see French flags on this one, so it might have been reserved only for French players. Which actually makes me curious. Could I play it, even though I don't live in France? Maybe I should find out more about that. But ToD's was able to get the win in finals versus Sayso. KraV, were you babysitting again, or what weren't you doing this one?
No, I don't play this one.
Why?
I don't. Because they don't invite me. But maybe the next one, I think.
Oh, it's invite only, or?
Yes.
I thought there was
Yes,
only
yes.
8 players. Okay.
But you can ask them.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, lots of old school players actually in this. BSK has been around forever. Like Die as well, Blast. Interesting. And yeah, ToD's definitely one of the French players that's playing very good these days, I think. Like where would you rank ToD's in the rankings if you had to make like a French ranking of like the best players? KraV, what do you think? Where would ToD's land in that?
Can you repeat, please?
If you had to rank the best French
Yes.
players, where do you think
Yes.
ToD's goes into that?
Yes, it's a big surprise now for me.
Yeah, but like, which top is he? Is he like top? I don't know, 5, 10?
Top. Yes. Actually, maybe yes, in top 5. Why not? 5 or 4? 5. Yes, 5.
Seems like he's playing really well these days. So definitely excited to see more from him.
At first, I thought it was Intox. You know.
Yeah, no. Intox is
No name change.
Is way too old for this. World Cyber Athletics Arena 2020 All Stars Invitational. So it's basically WCA, but it's only played online and has only 8 players as far as I can see. And in this, we just
There
had...
too, by the way, Fly. Look at him. In Group
Yeah,
B.
this was the
Yeah.
one that he won his group.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was actually the first group was yesterday, and we started with Group B, and today we had Group A. So in Group B, Fly was able to take first place, and 120 took second place, and then Lin and Yumiko were eliminated. It's kind of weird to see Lin lose to Undead, to be honest. I never thought that would happen. Like, to me, he should be winning against like 120, maybe even against Happy, but apparently 120 has his number nowadays. And in Group A, that just happened today, was cast on Back to Warcraft. Remo actually got that for us. It was Moon that took first place and Colorful that took second place, including a win against Sock 2-0 in this first match of that group. So we also had Fortitude be eliminated. So the two humans, they bite the dust. But Colorful winning against Sock, didn't he get like 9-0 last time? Was that against Sock? Like he's been having a rough time against humans, but apparently not here. You guys saw these games and were you surprised by the results?
No.
I mean, I think Alpha's learned how to play this human now with this Warden, Naga, and Warden Tinker stuff. They seem to be winning a lot this human.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you play at ToD and it looks pretty tough. There's peasant lions getting Vanna knives all day.
Yeah. And Moon keeps on delivering. It's kind of weird. It feels like an anomaly, you know? Like he's... How old is Moon now? He must be like...
play a lot of Warden too? No, he doesn't play. He played against Colorful. He played Potem
Yeah.
twice.
In Mirror, I don't think Warden is that viable, but in other matchups,
true.
it seems like he's kind of figured out. Like even against Orc, he's using Keeper first, masterfully and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, against Fortitude, he used Warden too.
Yeah. It feels weird for me to see somebody like Moon, who's been around for such a long time and on top of the game, still manage to perform as well as he does. Like, how do you guys feel about it? Because like, it feels like at some point, you would have had to have some sort of motivation drop and not play as well, but not for him. He's always on top of his game. He very rarely has a slump, and he's still crushing nerds left and right, making final stages of like tournaments like this. He's, I believe, right now 34. Are you guys surprised by this or?
I'm just glad he's around, dude. I'm glad he's around because, you know, me 32, I'm starting to feel a little bit old sometimes. You know, when I see the memes and I don't get them immediately, or I don't find them funny, and all the Fortnite kids are laughing their butts off. So, also with esports, I think in general, there's this stigma of, you can only do this while you're 18 to your 20s, maybe mid 20s, and then you're too old. There's always this stigma. And I'm glad that Moon is proving people wrong, and people can be really decent, really good, actually, past their 30s. And that gives me a little bit of hope that esports as a whole, at some point, maybe 30 years from now, we're going to have esports for the elderly, esports for the middle-aged, and esports for the youngs. So I think it's super dope Moon is around.
Sayso?
Yeah, I mean, I think Moon's pretty amazing, obviously, for winning, even at his age, and he always seems to be on top. Like, he never seems to perform badly. He's pretty much carrying the night of race on his shoulders. So he's also shown them the way to play. Like, he was the one that came up with this Warden Naga stuff that's winning a lot. So, and now Colorful did the same thing, it seems. So,
KraV, are you surprised to see Moon play so well?
No, I think Moon is one of the best players. I think that he can stop 10 years and come back and be the best again. Oh no.
Does it inspire you that somebody this age managed to play so well, or?
What are you getting at?
I don't know. I don't even know how old KraV is. How old are you, KraV?
26. 26.
Oh, okay. Well, you're way young
Yes.
still.
Yes. Thanks.
All right, I take that as a note. Okay. The NetEase Esports X Tournaments 2020 Spring. In this one, it's okay, so we got 4 groups of 4 players each. That's 16 players. And only one group so far took place. It was Group B. That was played on the 11th. And Moon, what do you know? Beat Lin 2-0, beat Lowlight 2-1, took first place. And then in the lower brackets, Lin was able to beat Xiao KK and then Lowlight. So Moon and Lin advancing from this. Actually, no, we had Group C happen as well.
Yeah, look at Fly, man.
Yeah.
He's first place
yeah,
once
like
again.
a fly again.
Okay, I guess I don't really pay that much attention necessarily to orcs and stuff. Like, I pay most attention to humans, so I know how the humans are doing. Kind of bad these days. Yeah, so that's why I didn't remember that Fly advanced in like 2 tournaments. But yeah, Fly first place, Sock second place. So that's Colorful and Yumiko eliminated in this group. Pretty impressive play, I guess, from these guys. And it's a very stacked tournament. We still have to play Group A with Happy, Focus, WFZ, and Fortitude. That's going to be on the 21st. And then there's going to be Group D on the 25th with Chemico, Soin, 120, and Czech. And I'm sure Back to Warcraft is going to be covering that. Did you guys catch these games? Kendric?
Yeah, I watched Fly's group, basically, and yeah, he did really well. Freaking amazing to see him actually do this well with a Blade Master too. I think he's loyal to the Blade Master, picks it all the time.
That's loyalty, is that what it is?
Well, against Saki, he showed a little bit farseer meta. But yeah, what do you think, guys? The humans, of course, are special interest on this stream. So Chemico and Fortitude in these groups.
They're gonna get smashed. That's what I think. Sayso, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Fortitude could make it out. Maybe. He'll beat WFC.
Do you know that pink means undead, right? There's 2 pink players in this group.
I mean, WFC doesn't beat human, though. He loses all the time. He lost 0-3 to Sock, like, last week.
If you want to place a couple wager, hit me up on Discord later on that. KraV,
yeah, okay, we'll do it.
What do you think about Group A and D in this tournament here?
In the Group A.
Yeah, and D.
And D, Group A and D. Yes, you want the winner?
Yeah, who's gonna advance?
Yes, Happy, of course. And let's try Chamico.
Yeah, but
Why
what about
not?
the second places in each group? Because the 2 players advance.
1-2-0. And Focus.
Okay.
Focus.
Just a straight up prediction. All right, I like it. Thank you.
How good is Czech at the moment? Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, it seems like he plays on and off. It's hard to tell, but like as I think I caught some of his games recently, maybe on Back to Warcraft, and he wasn't doing too bad. Like he was playing very decent, only losing against like some top competition. So he must still be good. The ESL Championnat National, which is the French version of the EPS. So we already had the qualifiers take place. I think it's one of the earlier EPS seasons to start. Like the one in Germany starts in May, so that's still in a while. But yeah, so we got 8 players playing in a round robin, and we've only had like 1 or 2 matches played. Actually, KraV is the only one that has played 2 matches. Quite a bit of prize pool on the line, €3,000 in total. And so far, KraV defeated CleanX and Cornox.
Yes.
How's it been going? Easy matches so far, or?
Today, yes. No. Okay match. Good match. What you want I say? No, easy. If I can say you, yes, it was easy.
Do you expect to take top 2 in this tournament, you and sides, like usually happens in the French tournaments, or do you think that it's gonna be some matches are gonna be hard?
Decent match, yes. Actually, I'm pretty confident, so I will beat everyone of this guy.
Side
Trust
as well?
me. Yes.
How about anybody else that stands out that you think could surprise and do well? Like, let's say you and Side take 1st and 2nd place. Who do you expect then to take like 3rd and 4th?
Maybe the new Said. I don't know if you heard him name before. Said.
Oh, the orc.
Night Elf. No, Night Elf.
Oh, Night Elf. Okay.
Yes, Night Elf. Maybe him and maybe Dale. Why not?
Die, okay. Kendric, did you cash any of this?
No, sadly I did not actually. I just looked at some of the games. Very few orcs actually. Only 1 Kleenex. And that's it.
Yeah. It's interesting actually that they only have 8 players. Because the German EPS, that's... is it 2 groups of 6 players each or something like that? Like it's more players than 8 total for sure.
Let's see.
Or is it 2 groups of 8?
Yeah, looks like 2 of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have 12 players.
Yeah. So it's 2 groups of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just different format, I guess. It's kind of weird, like, because you have a French championship, but because me and Toxie, we live in Germany, then we're playing in the German one, so we're not in this one. But yeah, I guess Side and KraV, I guess the 2 Undeads in this, the favorites to maybe make the finals. Yet again, we'll see if anybody can upset that or not. The Africa TV Warcraft 3 League 2020 Season 1. So that's a tournament that includes only Korean players and Chinese players. And whole 16 of them, actually top 8 makes the money. And in total, there is, it's not actually summarized. There is 10 million won, which is $8,200. And we've already gone through the round of 16 and 2 of the quarterfinals. And so far, in the first 2 quarterfinals, Fortitude beat Lola at 3-2 and Lin beat Sok 3-0. So Fortitude against Lin in the first semifinals. The other 2 quarters, are tomorrow. It's going to be 120 versus Focus and Ice Orc versus Moon. Ice Orc actually beats Mikael to make it there. Any favorites specifically for this one? Is it a guaranteed Moon versus Lin finals, you guys think, or? Kendrick?
Moon. I think 1-0 against Moon is going to be sick if both show up in top form. And I think 1-0 will beat Focus. So that might be my personal final, but I think it's going to be Moon versus Lin. Can't see Fortitude take it.
Sayso?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this actually. I think Focus versus 120 will be good matches. Focus plays real well versus Undead, so I think it'll be close. And then Moon will definitely win. So Moon versus either Focus or 1-0 will be exciting as well. hopefully it's Moon versus 120 because we haven't seen that in a long time.
Do you favor anybody in You said it was going to be pretty close, 120 versus Focus. Personally, I thought Focus was super convincing against Happy in Anaheim, so I would favor him.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say 60-40 for Focus, just based on how 120 played last night or whatever it was in the WCA.
And
I think 1-0 is stronger against Orc than Happy at the moment, though.
Definitely, yeah.
KraV, how is Undead going to do in this tournament?
I think the man that will win 1-2-0 versus Moon will win the tournament.
Really? You think
Yes.
Lin couldn't contest or Fortitude if they make the finals?
Why not?
Yeah.
The dreams.
You're a great guest, KraV. Thank you. The ESL Pro Series ANZ Summer 2020 season. So that's basically the equivalent of the what we just saw from France, the EPS, if you will. This one has 3,000 Australian dollars, so that's like $5. No, I'm just kidding. That's like $1,900 USD. And actually, there's a lot of players on this one. Yeah, 16 as well. And it looks like that's the one we talked about last time, I think, where Salt Puppy advanced on to the next round, so Unreal as well. Wait, they haven't played anything since then?
Yeah, so there was problems with BattleNet last week, so Group B couldn't be played. So that's going to be played tonight, and then Group C is going to be played tomorrow. So it's pretty exciting times.
When do you play? When is your group?
I play in 2 weeks, so I'm in Group D. But there's a group tonight, and then there's a group tomorrow night as well.
Which one is tonight?
Group B, so Dirtbag versus Physics, and Seron versus Terrence.
Dirtbag. Is he a regular viewer on my stream? Did he find that nickname there? It's going to be cool to see Moonglade as well, and then Switz in there, Trixie as well. And yeah.
How good is Moonglade at the moment, Sayso, would you say?
So as of probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I'd say he wasn't that strong, not as strong as he used to be. But since then, he's made a secret account on NetEase, and he's been playing a lot. So New Zealand and Australia both in full lockdown, so I pretty much can't leave my house, so there's not much to do. So I think Moonglade's been playing a lot of NetEase. So we'll get to see tomorrow night how he does. He's actually versus my flatmate, so I live with Bump Time, who's right there. So it's actually Bump Time versus Moonglade, so I get to watch the games live and see how it all goes.
How do you know he has a secret account if it's secret?
He's told us. So we're all in the same clan, and we'll be on Discord, and he's always just playing on NetEase, and he won't tell us the account name, and he's not playing with us anymore. He's just playing on NetEase all day. So
I see. And how do you feel about your group? You play Acon Sizes, I don't even know how to say it, and then there's K-Dweeb and Raven Drainer as well in your group.
So I think I should beat Akinsisis. Raven Drainer will beat K-Dweeb, and then me versus Raven will be pretty close. And I think we're probably the 2 favorites to make it out if we have to go through the loser bracket. So, yeah.
All right. The ESL Open Cup Oceania, so that's like the weekly version, like a weekly cup for players from that region, which includes Australia, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. $62 up for grabs for the winner. And did I click? I guess I clicked on the one that didn't happen yet, right?
Yeah, I clicked on that too. I followed you blindly.
Wait, so the last one was number 2. Let me check if I can open that.
That's MT2.
Yeah, so there was a BNet issue. They were both on the Weekly Cup and the ANZ tournament, and everyone was getting like 400 ping, so they were both delayed until this week. So that's why they haven't been played.
Well, one of them already happened, right? Yeah, the first one, which we already covered last time. So, well, Hellraiser got the victory versus Switz, taking second. Were you playing in this one? Yeah, you were.
Yeah. So they've changed the time now. It was at a really bad time. It was at 10 o'clock New Zealand time, which is too late for me with work. But they've changed it now to 10 in the morning on a Saturday. So it's going to be a lot more competitive and everyone can enter. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how it goes. And I think they've sponsored 40 of them. So there's actually there's going to hopefully be more Oceanic players playing because they've got a whole lot of money up for grabs.
So there's going to be 40 of these cups.
Yeah, I believe there's 40. There's either 20 or 40 that are sponsored by an iced coffee brand in Australia. So,
Dude, that's really sick.
yeah,
It's
it's pretty
actually really
sick, eh?
sick.
So,
I don't know what's
Guess
up
with
like,
Battle.net issues these days, you're going to be finished in 20 years.
in like Australia. Apparently, they get the sponsors for some of these tournaments pretty easily. I remember
I'll play something.
McDonald's, aka Macas, sponsored some tournaments in StarCraft 2 as well a while
Damn.
back. It looks like they don't have too much problems finding sponsors, which is cool. The Dust League Season 3 just concluded, and by the look of things, Season 4 has already been pretty much announced. It starts very soon on April the 24th with Group A, but there's also going to be qualifiers. So the first one is going to be in 3 days. Yeah, on the 17th. There's going to be the first qualifier. And 3 players are going to qualify for the main tournament. By the look of things, qualifier 2, same thing. That's going to be on the 18th. So 17th and 18th. And those 6 players are going to rejoin the top 8 from last season, which was Cruncher, Hitman, Kiwikaki, Insuperable, Boo, RSM, OC, and FK. And there's also going to be a NetEase qualifier like last time, and there's going to be one last wildcard directly invited player. I'm assuming, Sayso, you're going to try to qualify for this, right?
Yeah, I definitely will.
How important is this tournament for you? Because it seems like it's your region technically, like you play in NA.
Yeah, it's been good. I've gone to the top 16 the last 3 seasons. Last season I had a pretty tough group. I was with Hitman and Kiwikaki and didn't make it out of the group. So hopefully qualify on one of the qualifiers and play it again. I think it's a pretty fun tournament. Shout out to Beto, who keeps hosting this and putting up $400, which is pretty generous. So I think this is the main NA tournament right now to see who's playing the best and how everyone's going. Hitman seems to be pretty dominant at the moment. Like, he didn't used to beat Cruncher, but he started to beat Cruncher, and now he seems unstoppable. So it's really to see if anyone can take him out. Kendric,
have you been following this tournament?
Yeah, man. I actually love watching Kiwi. I think we all do with his wonky strats. And Hitman, like Sayso said, is just so fun to watch, and how he's grown. Cruncher, I'm not sure. I think Cruncher always had this issue that he can't play as much because he's very busy with work. So OC, of course, always good for a nice match. Yeah, I'm gonna be following that. And also in Super Bowl, man, is he even playing at the moment?
I'm not sure actually. Maybe Sayso.
I don't think so. He's playing. I think they're all playing Valorant now.
Yikes.
I think OC and other ones are playing Valorant.
That's gonna be a yikes for me as well.
Yeah.
Crunch has been playing a lot though. He's been streaming almost every day. I think he's in lockdown, so he's been playing NetEase. He's been playing Europe ladder. He's playing NA ladder. So he's going to be in good shape.
His lack of motivation before was coming from the lack of ladder. So now that there's pads ladder, he's basically super motivated and playing a ton. KraV, have you ever followed the Dust League casted on Back to Warcraft late at night these days?
No, I didn't follow this tournament, sorry, but I hope Insuperable will perform in this tournament.
Oh, you're friendly with Insuperable?
Yes, we are 1 year of Chaos players. So yes, we are.
I didn't know that all Reign of Chaos players are like homies and stuff, So if you're homies, why are you not watching him in this tournament usually? You need to support him, man. No? Okay. All right, let's move on to next topic. It is Pad's ladder. So we've covered it quite a bit. Pad basically created a ladder. He's the creator of W3 Arena. He created a ladder on BNet that you can install in like literally 3 clicks. You can search game, and now there's leagues that have been added as well. So there's many different leagues. There's like an MMR system. There's RP points, which I'm still not sure where they are exactly. And the in-game UI keeps improving as well. And yeah, it's still there. Like, we can have a look at the ranking and all the leagues. So Last time they were doing a vote to know what were going to be the name of the leagues, and it looks like we went for the StarCraft 2 system pretty much. So it's Grandmaster all the way up, then Master League, then Diamond, then Platinum, then Gold League, then Silver, then Bronze. And everything from Diamond to Bronze has 3 different divisions. So Grandmaster League is basically only 30 players. And right now the Muslims rank 1 with 90 wins and 30 losses. It's kind of been killing it.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, he's owning it.
What about the NA one? Where are you, Sayso? Are you high up there or?
Rank 3.
Wow, nice. Just behind Hitman.
The
and
NA
Cruncher.
one's been a lot of fun. Like,
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun playing ladder. I actually wake up and I'm excited to play ladder. So it's the first time that's happened in like many years.
You're playing a lot of strong players, I assume, right? In like most of your games.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of an interesting ladder. Like Hitman and Cruncher are rank 1 and 2, and they sort of beat everyone but each other. And then after that, it's pretty close, and there's probably like 10 or 12 players that are, rank 3 to sort of 15 who all have good matches. And we've got Sonky who's came back, who's pretty good. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun playing the ladder.
Yeah, Ark is actually pretty high up there as well, rank 5 right now. So it looks like you guys are getting ready for the next Dust League season. It's going to be pretty interesting. I've always thought that the people that are doing very well on ladder, they have a very good chance to win tournaments. Like technically, if you're the best or like in the region or like doing really well, you should be able to translate those results a lot of the time in tournaments. I remember in StarCraft 2, the one tournament that I ever won, I was rank 1 on the ladder. Like it was a tournament in Poland, and then I was like rank 1, Nurture was rank 2, and I beat him in the finals. And I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. And like I feel like it's happened so many times, right? Like you got Cyril in StarCraft 2, he's the best player. He's always rank 1, he's always so much MMR ahead of everybody, and then he outperforms everybody in tournaments for the most part. Very rarely does he lose to anybody. So I've always thought it represented something, and like to see Hitman and Cruncher on 1 and 2 seems right. They were number 1 and 2 in the Dust League. But now I see my boy Sayso in 3rd place. Here's the top 4 coming next Dust League. Here we go.
Who's
The issue
chasing you?
is we're not seeing Kiwikaki or Insup play the ladder at the moment, or HTRT, who are probably I'd say the next 3 best players in the region. So it'd be more fun if they got on the ladder as well.
Yeah. I actually think
But
that
I agree with you, Todd.
eventually it's going to happen where like a lot more players, they're going to play on this. Like the Eastern Europeans, they're still very reluctant to play on this. But I think eventually they might make the switch when they realize that there is a sick level as well on there. Then again, they still need to play the NetEase tournament, so it's good for them to still keep being used of that NetEase ping, because if you play on BNet with a low ping and then you have to play on NetEase, it's pretty brutal. When I had to play the WGL Team League, I was like, oh my god, I had completely forgot what playing with 200 MS felt like. So, KraV, how have you been enjoying the W3 Champions ladder?
The leader of Pad, you want
Yeah, how do you like it?
I like the leader of Pad. He's really nice. He served us. The league system is really nice because we can clip the leader and see our rare level. Maybe can add something because sometimes you meet the same opponent during maybe 5 or 6 games and sometime in the sub map, so it's a bit boring. But yes, I love this leader.
Yeah,
What is it like when you're high level in terms of queue time?
It's very fast. If there's somebody good searching, you'll meet them very, like if you're in Grandmaster and there's somebody in Grandmaster searching, which seems like depending on the hours you play, you get games very quickly. You're never really waiting. Like honestly, I'm so impressed by the whole ladder. I would say though, you meet a lot of the same people many times. I think I had like some absurd amount. Like yesterday, I ended my session with 3 games in a row against Shocker. All 3 of them on Twisted Meadows. And then before that, I think I played Grubby like 7 or 8 games in a row. And I think I won only 1. So yeah, that wasn't the most fun session. But yeah, I like the skill. Like there's just crazy competition in there. Like these games that are listed here, they're my games from yesterday. And I met Grubby, Thorzane, Johnny Cage, Lubber, Neutron, and then Shocker. So it's just like you're only meeting top competition basically all the time, which is great. Like it's such a better change than BNet basically, where like you just I remember I was rank 1 and I was meeting players that were like 0-5 or something. It didn't make any sense. There was no matchmaking whatsoever. So this is, I feel like we've owned it for a long time, and now that it's there, I've been really enjoying it a lot. And yeah.
Awesome.
So I got some stats actually that were provided to me by the guys from W3 Champions. So these are like the overall stats per matchup, and it reads from left to top. So Orc is currently like, this is like all MMR win rates included, so literally all of the games combined. And it looks like Orc is 50.88% versus human, Nightail 49.82 against human, and Undead 53.93% against human. And that's like with a giant sample of games. Are we surprised by these ratios, guys?
I guess Undead players are just good.
They practice harder?
I mean, I think it's worth looking at the over 1900 MMR games. That's probably like where it's most relevant. Like if you look at under 1250, human does terribly, which skews the statistics, I think.
But we should go, I guess, right now by screenshot. Like the first one here is the overall stats. Do you think we shouldn't look so much at overall stats in terms of like who's doing well and bad and stuff, because it depends more by leagues, in your opinion?
I think over 1900 MMR is the best stat. Like human under 1250 is at 43%. So it just seems like they're terrible. You know, like human is hard to play, so it looks like the worst players do the worst with human. Whereas they're 51% in the highest MMR group. So I think that's a better judge of, you know, how people are doing.
These, by the way, totals about 45,000 games played, with over 3,000 players participating. So it's a very decent sample, I would say, of games.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the overall stats, if we take the overall average win rates, Undead has the best one with 51.55% across all matchups. Night Elf has 50.62%. Orc has 49.38%, and Human has 48.46%. So nobody is like really far from 50, to be honest. There is like nobody that's like on 45, 44, which would be pretty extreme. So that's already, I guess that's good to know. But yeah, we can go by levels, or like MMR rather. So that's for anybody with an MMR over 1900s. And now, Orc is 48.60% versus human. Night Elf is 44.33% versus human. Okay, that's bad. that's the one where you know they are doing pretty bad. And Undead is 52.70% versus human. And I guess we can name some of the others. Orc against Night Elf is 13%. Goddamn. Orc versus Undead is 50.62%. Night Elf versus Undead is 39.26%.
That's the craziest to me, because I always thought that matchup was way more balanced looking at the pro games and stuff.
Less than 40%. That's insane. I really wish we would know the numbers in terms of games, because this is only for MMR above 1900. So it's obviously it's not going to be 45k games. It's going to be like way less, but 40%. That's wow.
But it's only on this tier too. The other tiers, this matchup is way more balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, but supposedly this is the tier that will matter more if we talk about balance, right? Because we're still we're not talking about like, you know, the top Chinese and Koreans, but we're still talking about like the top players from, I guess it counts Europe and NA in terms of having 1900 MMR and above. Why do you guys think that is? Maybe like, are some of the stronger Night Elves not playing, or is just like the player base in general that's playing in this? The Undeads are doing better against the Elves. Sayso, any idea?
I mean, I think it's a mix of both. So first off, I do actually think Undead is favored versus Elf at the high level. So you got that. And then you've got a lack of the best Night Elves playing on the Europe Lit server. So Foggy's not playing at all, or he's had sort of 10 games. I don't think Please is playing at all. And there's just not that many good European Night Elves from what I can think of. Neutron's the only other one who I can't see on the top page, so don't know if he's playing too much. But you've got so many undeads playing. You've got X-Lord, Dawaku, NT, Shocker, Wan, KraV, Lubba. Just on the top page is like almost half undeads. So
Yeah, and Helpstone say this is about 5,000 games. So it's still a very decent
yeah,
sample.
so it's a good sample.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KraV, how do you feel about Undead versus Night Elf? Because apparently you guys got 60% win rate.
I think the balance of the game is really nice. When we watch statistic, we can maybe see an imbalance, yes, against Night Elf and Undead. But I think this is because there is not many good Night Elf in Europe currently, except maybe Lil GC, Foggy, Sonic, and Naipu. Honestly, I win 60% of my games versus Night Elf just by Rouge Goal at start. So I don't think the problem it's the balance of the game, you know?
Yeah. So you think when there would be more stronger elves also playing on the retail champions, the stats are gonna even out a little bit more?
Yes, certainly.
But 60% is very extreme for sure, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's extreme.
Let's see. I guess Night Elf is also not doing too hot against human, 44%. This is like one of the matchups where people have been like very vocal in the past that they think that Night Elf is not doing well against human. Personally, I see a recurring hero coming back to my peasant lines just to Fan of Knives everything. So whenever I see those games, I'm like, what are all those other Night Elves doing? Like, why are they going Demon Hunter and Mastia 1 or whatever? Like, just go Warden, buy a couple anti-magic potions, spam Fan of Knife in the peasants, and then you got it. But yeah, I feel like actually this is something that's underdone. Is like watching the pro level play and copy the build orders to really play your race to the full potential. Because these guys, they're always doing the best possible thing to do. And I feel like those stats will probably be closer if that happens. There's too many people that goof around doing like their own strat and not necessarily doing like the most effective builds. But yeah, it does look like humans pretty strong around that level or doing well in that sample of games against Night Elf.
I thought Orc vs Undead was way higher in favor of Orcs.
Yeah, it's 48.60%. Oh, no, sorry.
It's
50.
50.
Yeah, that's about as even as it gets, actually. That's the closest one to 50% that we have in this whole thing. That's nuts, actually. Okay, so 1,900 MMR to 1,650. Orc is 45% against human as the most somewhat imbalanced, I guess, matchup, you could call it. So it seems like in that bracket, Orc is struggling against human. Everything else looks pretty close, actually. I guess the lowest will be Undead versus... No, actually, I guess human against Undead are having a hard time as well. 46.71%. But other than that, we have a lot of ratios, I guess, decently close to 50%. Undead's doing well against human, 53%, yet again. And overall, it looks like in that bracket, Undead's is doing the best with all stats combined with... It's only Night Elf. 50.54%, so it's close to 50%. Undead 50.53%. Human 50.23%. And Orc are the ones that actually are boosting all of these other races slightly over 50%. They are at 48.71. Do you guys think it makes sense that under the highest level in NA in Europe, like the bracket just under, Orc will be the race that struggles a little bit more? Kendric?
I don't know. What I'm wondering is if, and that's a big if we had a Blizzard ladder, if it could be this well balanced because I think the matching algorithm from Pat is working really well.
Yeah.
Because the numbers are just overall really good with a few exceptions. I just wonder if Blizzard came up with a ladder if they could do it this well. Probably not.
Yeah.
Sayso?
Yeah, I mean, it looks sort of... I mean, at that bracket, it looks all pretty close, to be honest. There's a couple of bad matchups, but... I mean, I think human versus orc, as the orc is kind of hard to play, so I'm not surprised it's low percentage for orc there.
KraV? Are these alerts coming from you?
No, no one. For me, there is no balance problem.
Okay. 1650 to 1450, so that's the level under that. Looks like, again, Night Elf is having a hard time against Human, 45.24%. Humans having a hard time against Undead, 45.91%. Yeah, these are like the two matchups with the biggest gaps, I guess. But other than that, actually, wow. The total average percentage is very close to 50% each of them. Human is at 50.62%, Orc 50.16%, Night Elf 49.30%, and Undead 49.92%. That's crazy close. Oh my god.
That's amazing.
These guys figured out balance. At their level, everything. Or not everything.
Maybe we should ask them in the future, what should be changed in the game.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know what more we could say overall about this. Like, it's, it's even kind of hard to picture exactly like what levels these are. I think like in the future, it might be nice to add what leagues this corresponds to, 1650 to 1450. Yeah, and we got the last one. That's for. Actually, that's not the last one. No, there is more after that. But this one is for 1450 to 1250. And in this one, don't tell me we're getting closer again to ultimate balance. It looks like Undeads are doing the best, but not by a crazy margin. Like overall, they're 52.21% win rates. And everybody else is around 49. So 49.19 for Night Elf, 49.35 for Orc, and 49.25 for Human.
I think the...
Sorry.
Turn off all this shit right now. I've had enough of these fucking alerts. Are you using speakers? You don't even have earphones. What is wrong with you? God damn. I try to be patient. Like, you give them the hand, they take the whole arm. Turn this shit off right now. Jesus Christ. It's getting like a couple of booty calls during quarantine over here, during a show. What is this? All right. 1250 and less. Okay, Humans doing
I think
garbage.
this is interesting. This one here.
What the hell is going on here? Human is on 43.67%. My human brethren, how can I help you?
I mean, I think this makes sense. Human at the very start is hard to play, and Undead's pretty easy. You just make Fiends and a DK and a Lich, and you can beat most people. So,
well, that's the same as at high level, though. Yeah, so Humans are having a terrible time. They're 43.67% overall. Orc is at 49.61. Night Elf 52.77, Undead 53.96. So Undead actually strongest race down there with Night Elf in second place, Orc under that close to 50%, and then Human getting dumpstered left and right. It's kind of sad. I need to make more tutorials for these poor guys because they're having a rough time down there. Then we got a... Actually, yeah, that was the bottom. So that was the lowest, basically, MMR possible. So 1250 and less, yeah. So we got a graph win rate per MMR range. Kendric, any thoughts on this?
No, I'm once again like super impressed by how well this ladder works.
Yeah.
Especially for the higher ends. And yeah, I guess for the low B players, for the lower players down there, it just makes sense, with Night Elf and Undead always being a little bit easier. I think with Undead you just play the same style over and over. It always works against every race. Always pick DK, always go Fiends, and you're never going to do terrible. So I guess that also explains a little bit the Undead dominance there.
It looks like overall Undead is doing the best out of all the races in this.
Yep.
Because
I think that has something to do with the player pool in Europe.
Yeah.
And like Sayso said, not many Russians and Eastern Europeans participating.
In particular, so at the highest MMR and at the lowest, they're basically at the top by far. But in the center, there is like a big dip. So I guess Undead at like medium level, like 1650 to 1450 MMR range, they are performing a little bit worse. Even under 1900 to 1650. So in that whole bracket. Whereas Human, at the highest MMR, they're the, I guess, second best performing race by the look of things. And then they kind of stabilize. But as we go lower and lower in MMR, they're doing worse. Orc, Night Elf not doing well at all at the highest MMR, and then they're kind of in the center for the rest of the MMR, except at the lowest MMR, where they're second place to Undead. And then Orc is somewhat stable for the most parts, under 50%, except on the 1650 to 1450 MMR range, where they're above 50% next to Human. It seems interesting. I feel like if we would have had to make predictions on like what races would be doing best on different levels and stuff, we might have maybe, some of us might have gotten it right. Like it seems like it makes a bit of sense the way this is going. And now this makes me very excited to maybe do this again in the future or get the next stats, because people are playing so much under weekly champions. We for sure are going to have a bigger sample next time. More players are going to join the fun as well. And it's going to be cool to follow as well. So, oh yeah, there it is actually. I should have showed that earlier. So yeah, basically above 1900 MMR is the top 5% of players. So top 150.
Damn.
1900 to 1650 is the up to top 25%. So currently that's gold. 1650 to 1450 is up to top 50%. Currently silver. And 1450 to 1250 is up to top 75, current bronze. 1250 and under is bottom 25%. Current wood. Okay, so I guess that does it for this topic. Let me see. Yeah. Unless you guys want to add anything, we can move on to the next one. No?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Okay, so the next topic is Happy leaves LF. So we need a little bit of drama on this show to boost the views a little bit, you know?
Oh no!
Sorry.
Was that the cat that dropped the plate or something?
Yeah, that was the cat. I got handed a cat and then it jumped on the plate.
Oh my God.
What's its name?
I think that cat craves drama.
What's its name?
Beans, actually. It's my
Beans?
flatmate's cat. It's a nice little cat. It's a gaming cat. It just stays in this room the whole day.
All right, so yeah, let's talk about this. Happy parts ways with his team LF, and there was another post initially made where he explained that he was owed money. So I'm gonna read it for everybody that's not got the video and listening through this on a podcast. So it reads, it's a tweet longer. Some drama and very bad news. Team LF. Summary: my team is not paying me my salary for 3 months already. Last time I got paid my salary back in early January for December. Reasons, according to team, are like this: coronavirus, etc. Well, overall, it is expected and makes sense because in China, everything was basically frozen, just like in Russia now, quarantine. But if it only begins here in Russia, in China it ends. From 1st March, most of business in China returned to work. From 1st April, quarantine was mostly lifted there, mostly no limitations in country. Information from Chinese. Anyway, it's not even anything about it. Quarantine is quarantine, but business is business. Gotta pay what you have to. Because my team never disappointed me before, paid salaries and prize money always on time, I gave them time. Firstly a month, then another one, now they are asking for another delay. Although, according to contract, I insisted and added to the contract that my salary must be paid no later than 2 weeks after 10th of the next month, so for January, 10th of February. That actually doesn't make much sense. Like, I feel like I should keep reading, but when I read that the first time, I was like, 2 weeks after the 10th, so it will be the 24th. Anyway, I'll keep reading. Otherwise, any reason, it is violation of a contract written as well, and our agreement is finished then. So I waited for a month, then another one. Quarantine is not a joke, but it's April already. They promised me it will be paid on 10th, 100%, and again asking for a delay. Now salaries will be paid on 30th of the month. Well, I guess I decided to do something about it. Can't accept delays over and over again. Team is always on a contact with me, but so what? Everything is complicated by the fact that according to contract, all prize money above certain limits, small prize not affected, are property of my team. So initially, all the prize money are going to my team and then to me. My bonus after deducting team percentage from the prize money. I made an ultimatum. If I won't get what I'm owed in salary and prize money that my team has received, I will write about it. Why not? Maybe it will work. Who knows? Worked when I wrote about MTW not paying out prize money for Legendary Cup. They paid the next day. Currently, my team owes me salary for 3 months, January through March, and prize money CC Master Cup 2, plus WGL Winter 2019, plus DreamHack Anaheim, plus Huya Super League 1. Regarding prize money, either way, take out minimum 35 to 40%, taxes plus team percentage. I want to say that regarding salary, the sum owed by the team is not much lower than the tournament prize money I am owed. So you get the reason why I didn't leave the team after the first payment delay. Regarding tournaments, I'm very sad that I actually told DreamHack prize money to be sent to team myself. I am an honest person, I abide contracts, so I did what I was supposed to. Other tournaments, Chinese ones, there's not much of a choice, except maybe WGL, but last WGL that I won took me half of a year to receive money after a lot of hassle. And I didn't even receive it myself. I had to ask for it, one of my parents that live in another country, to receive it. This prize money that I wrote above certainly have been received by team. It is confirmed by them and those who sent it. Regarding other tournaments, DU Cup 2 and 4, around $6,250 haven't been sent yet. They said that they only can send it to Chinese bank accounts, no alternatives. So I guess I won't be seeing this money, though they won't be sent to my team. So yeah, something like that. My current state, completely crushed. I have absolutely no motivation, not just to stream, to play. I had only one motivating factor, team, that was giving me needed support. Otherwise, why the hell do I play every day without weekends or breaks? All this practice, all tournaments, cups, Chinese especially for the last few months, all for nothing. This is all just very damn sad, completely no motivation to play, because why? Even if I would be winning all online cups outside of China, this is like nothing. Chinese cups, well, if you don't happen to have Chinese bank accounts, not even thinking about how to cash money from there, you're out. Yeah, I guess I could find another team. I'm definitely not the worst player in the world. But what if it will end up the same? Overall, I'm not going to die, of course. I have funds to support myself, and this is not even the worst thing that happened to me, money-wise, seen worse. But the fact that it all collapsed in a moment, still looking on from it from the other side, it's a good life's lesson. Should have left team after first months of delay. I guess my greed played its role. Very sizable salary, so I didn't. Once upon a time, I've been in a similar situation, money-wise, not esports related. I guess I didn't learn my lesson. Hopefully, I will remember it now. Kendric, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's pretty hefty, man. 3 months of salary, several tournaments, cash outs not being sent. It's not a fun situation you're at, and I think Happy. I've not always been on his side in the past, because I think he's very strict and very special sometimes. But I think in this one, the thing that I was looking for is that he gave him a chance. He gave LF a chance, in saying that, if you don't pay, I'm going to give you an ultimatum until this and that date, and if you don't pay, then I'm going to go to public. I think that's a really good move rather than just going to public immediately.
Yeah.
I know I can imagine that communication with China is very hard sometimes, but that's just not acceptable. And especially the thing, dude, with Chinese cups not paying to players outside of China, like, why would they even let him participate then?
Mm-hmm.
To not pay them. I think like it's always been a problem actually. Like I don't really understand how that's possible. I'm pretty sure bank transfer should be available worldwide. Like
Yeah.
do a Western Union at least, like something. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a shame. I feel like this has been going around in esports for the longest time. I haven't been paid by multiple tournaments back in my days. I didn't win a ton of tournaments, but 2 that I won, they didn't pay me. CPL and then another tournament in China called, I think it was IEF maybe. So it's pretty crazy. Like you practice, you dedicate your life to a game, then you go to a tournament, you finally win one, and they don't even pay you. Come on, where's my $5,000? Like I need that. So it's been like this for a long time. We've heard a little bit about some of the teams that didn't pay their players, and then either ran away with the money or had to do it later. But it's a very rampant problem, in my opinion, in esports, on which I would really like to shed more lights. There's some people like Richard Lewis, for example. He's made he's made a show with a CS player that wasn't paid by his team and had money problems with them and stuff. So I really hope that in the future we can make sure this happens less and less, because it's really, really annoying. Because I really do believe that pro gamers, they dedicate their life to their craft, and it sucks for them not to get paid when they've invested so much time into this.
Yeah, and also there's that thing with contracts, right? I'm not sure what the contract entailed for Happy, but in other games, like I know for FaZe Clan, for example, you know, when you had those Fortnite players being taken like 75% of all earnings. So like some of these contracts are crazy, and not many players read them carefully enough or use a lawyer for this, right? I think when you sign a contract that's giving you considerable money, you need to have a lawyer look over it, man.
Sayso, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is obviously pretty terrible. I think it gives like players some insight into how it actually works in China, how the money's paid to the team and the team pays the player. I think it's just an excuse not to pay the fact that they say he's got no bank account. I mean, it's pretty easy to Western Union or PayPal or do some other form of transfer, and that's pretty common. So, yeah, pretty crazy situation. Obviously, with COVID, hold up.
Yeah, just to give you guys some insight, with Heroes Hearth and the tournaments that we've been running, they have been paying money, not in Warcraft 3, but in different games, money to China in the past. So it's very easy, apparently, to receive the money in China, so it can't be that hard to send it. So,
KraV,
Yes.
what's going on? You're getting another phone call from another girlfriend? What the fuck, man?
Nah, honestly, I think we don't know all the subjects, so it's really hard to speak. But I think the team act really badly. You don't pay a player, he accept to rent. It's really nice, but you can't say him that you will pay him in a day and not to do it. And most importantly, you can't say to your player, don't say that or we will fire you. What the fuck? He can't talk. So I don't know how it works because Happy is Louisiane. If it's a Chinese team, I hope they will find a solution for sure.
Have you ever had like some issues like that with the team or with the tournament not paying you?
Never. Don't happen.
But you only started playing recently in a lot of tournaments, right?
Yes, this is why. Yes.
Okay,
I-
I'll ask you about this again. What about you, Sayso? Have you ever had troubles?
No, I've never had troubles. I mean, I haven't been paid a lot of money. Local Internet Cafe sponsored me once, and they actually did pay me everything they said, and were pretty good about it. And then Beto obviously paid me for Dust League when I got some money there, so it's been okay so far.
It's Bidou, by the way, not Bido. Bidou.
Beto.
Yeah.
does it mean anything?
No. But I'm surprised he never corrects you guys, because I'm pretty sure it's Bidou, yeah. Kendric, have you, like, you don't need to call out anybody, but I'm assuming you've been in esports for a long time. For sure, you've had some problems at some point, right?
Yeah, there's been a few companies that took their sweet time when it comes to sending caster money or hosting money.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very common, actually. Like, I think when you get into this, you always expect, like, you know, you imagine how it would be like, right? So you're like, well, I'll go and I'll play this tournament, or I'll cast this tournament, and then I'll get paid shortly after. And then here we are, like 4 months later, the money is still in your bank account. You've made your invoice, you've done everything right, but it's still not there. So it's just kind of how it goes. I feel like personally, I've almost gotten used to it. You kind of like need to pester the people that employed you to make sure that they paid you, or like the tournaments specifically. And if you don't, they'll take their sweet time. Maybe they'll not even pay you. So you need to make sure you're on it. But it's kind of annoying. I really hope like this will change. And it's very hard because you're always in this situation where, much like Happy, you have a choice to make. Do you speak about it publicly and risk not getting paid at all, and also risk, you know, damaging your image and worsening your relationship, like burning bridges? Or do you stay quiet and then like you're never getting paid because you're not saying anything? You're like not a threat to them. So it's a very, very tricky position. There are contracts, but let's be realistic. The only people that I think would ever sue is the companies. Like a player, an individual would almost never sue there, unless we're talking Fortnite billionaire, like that kid that said like he wanted more money from his team, and then like sure, like now there is enough money on the line for you to actually go out of your way, get a lawyer and sue these fools. But For Warcraft 3, I don't see that happening ever. So it's a tricky
I think
spot.
someone in chat made a nice comment about it. That's maybe one of the reasons why Moon has never been part of the team.
Yeah, he's had so many problems for sure. Remember, I think it was maybe Team 1. It was him, WCB Rainbow, and some other people a long time ago. And like I'm talking like 2004 or something. I'm pretty sure that team didn't pay him, so yeah. I'm pretty sure he's had. And again, this is like rumors. You know, he's never told that to me himself. I've just heard rumors. As KraV is talking to another one of his booty calls and laughing.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. A man's gonna do what a man's gonna do. We're all quarantined over here. So let me read the answer from Team LF that Gorlan Harbor very nicely translated. Announcement about World 3 department by LF. Major announcement regarding Warcraft 3 division. About Dimitri Kostin, happy. Today we saw our former Warcraft 3 player Dimitri Kostin, LF Happy, making a statement on public social platform about us. We fully respect to players' freedom of speech. So here are the explanations about the players' happy statement. 1. Due to the special nature of our main business of the company, which the club belongs, as of today in response to relevant government requirements, the company originally expected to resume work on 1st April. However, we are still prohibited to work due to policy adjustments. At the same time, we are also affected by the epidemic plague. We haven't received still has more than 1 million transfer fees. Oh my god, the English in this is torturing me. Operating subsidies, prize and other incomes yet. Under the premises of force majeure, there are part of staff haven't get paid, and also a small part of players haven't get their prize yet. Meanwhile, the company has received the prize. During this period, some staff and players applied to the club because of personal difficulties. The boss personally paid a total of nearly 400,000 RMB in advance. So I think that's like 40k euro or something, like rounded up. Besides of happy, this delay insurance decision has gotten understand and agreed by all staffs and players, including the Korean staff and players. We are deeply sorry for causing the inconvenience to Dimitri Kostin. Happy. After a discussion by the company, we also decided the final salary payment date, the adjustment announcement, has been delivered to all employees in the club on 10th April 2020. The original text is as follows. Adjustment announcements to all employees and players. Since the main business of the company has been affected by objective factors such as the domestic epidemic plague situation, the main business has not yet resumed normal business since January. The revenue of the club began to recover gradually in the beginning of April. In order to ensure the normal operation of the company and the club, the company determined that from April to June, the salary payment time will be temporarily changed from 10th to 30th each month. If there are no special circumstances, it will be resumed on July 10. The company apologizes for any inconvenience caused to you and thanks for your understanding and support during the outbreak. The club will not decrease salary during special periods. Staff and players from each department, please pay attention to epidemic prevention, work hard and strive to create good results in the game. Thank you for reading HR Department, 10th April 2020. After receiving the adjustment announcement, we regret that the company didn't get understood and support by the Dimitri Kostin happy, and we received a request from the Dimitri Kostin. What do they say? The Dimitri. After that, the company responded to the player on 12th April 2020. The original text is as follows. To Dimitri Kostin, they didn't say D this time. On 10th April, the club gave you an announcement about the adjustment of the salary payment date for all staffs and players in LFE Sports Club. Adjustments announcement. To all employees and players, well, it's just the same thing, right? Wait, they just recorded the same thing? What the hell? So anyway, I'll pick up after. Like, this is the same statement, basically. At present, the company has received your request and has been fully informed by the staff. And here are the following ideas by the company. Since signing the contract, the club has fully recognized your diligent efforts in the Warcraft 3 and the club, also highly sure of the excellent results that you obtained during this period. The delay payment of club salaries and prizes is something that none of us would like to see. This is not caused by the company's inability, but after the outbreak, the government required the company stop working from February 2020 until today. we are still unable to resume work, and we also hope the problem will be properly resolved in short term. I believe you know that similar incidents have never happened before. The delay payment of salaries and prizes is applicable to all the staffs and players in the club with a total of more than 50 people. After receiving the announcements, beside a few, all members expressed their understanding and respect for the arrangement. We sincerely hope that when encountering such irresistible incidents, we can get everyone's understanding and support, but we also absolutely respect everyone's opinion and ideas. So when you propose to cancel the contract and you want to expose the matter on the internet, and at the same time refuse to train without receiving a salary and prize, we feel sorry about it, but we also fully understand your emotions and demands. After a careful discussion, the company decided to serve the notice as follows. We will keep following the decision. The company will continue to adjust the salary payment date according to the original plan in April, May, and June. In this incident, if you insist on canceling the contract, although it is regrettable, the company will respect and agree to your application. The cancellation will take effect immediately after delivery of this letter. The company will pay you the income during the contract period according to the notified time, and the company will also pay you the unreceived prize on 30th in next month after the company received the prize. The company will always respect freedom of speech, but at the same time, we will continue to pay attention to your speech in any public platform. If you post any false statements about the club, we will reserve the right to pursue the law. Good luck. Hong Kong Lucky Future Entertainment Media Co. Ltd. Limited, Sunday, April 12, 2020. In view of the fact that Dimitri Kostin expressed his attitude of cancellation in the articles published on public social platforms, the club is now regarded as the cancellation notice in the written notice sent to Dimitri Kostin on 12 April 2020. In accordance with the relevant provisions of the contract and continue to distribute Dimitri Kostin's unpaid wages and prizes due to the epidemic according to the original plan, unreceived prizes will be paid on the 30th of the following month. The club thanked Dimitri Kostin for his outstanding performance during the contract period. At the same time, the club provided high salary to recognize and match Dimitri Kostin's performance before the outbreak. It's a pity that Dimitri Kostin did not choose to understand and overcome the difficulties hand in hand with the club. The club also fully respects the players' own wishes and freedom of speech, but we also reserve the right to resort to law for any untrue statements. Lucky Future Esports Club, 13th April 2020. Kendric, take this.
Yeah, that's a long one. And
oh, sorry, actually I missed one last paragraph.
Oh yeah, there's one
Real
department.
Quick. Warcraft 3 department suspension notice. Recently, the club has made an appointment with the players of Warcraft 3 players, LFWFZ, Ice Orc, Soin, and today we have the last player, Dimitri Kostin, LF Happy, complete the appointment. Since then, we regret to announce that the Warcraft 3 department of the LS Esports Club has now officially ceased operations. Goodbye.
Yeah, and I think that one is probably the most interesting part about the whole response here from Lucky Future, because I was going to say, so is Happy the only one who had these issues, or is he the only one who's so publicly unhappy about this? Because we still had two Koreans, or one Korean in the team here, Soen. And what about him? I would have loved to see his response to this, or if he has anything to say about it. Because we can't forget that it's China, and China just works differently, than what we're used to. So I can understand that maybe it's not as easy for Lucky Future to pay or to get past the quarantine. Maybe China is much more hands-on. But the fact that they now canceled the whole department, all the Warcraft 3 players released, that tells you that probably Happy was not the only one who was very unhappy with this.
Sayso?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough. Like, coronavirus has obviously stopped all the offline tournaments and everything else. So I think esports places will be getting hit pretty hard by this, as everyone is. So I can probably sort of understand why they're having financial difficulties. Maybe I would have waited a bit if I was happy before coming out like this and sort of getting yourself fired. But not getting paid for months on end is obviously pretty depressing. So it's a hard
think
situation.
3 months is like legit the time to wait?
Well, I mean, the coronavirus hit China since what, like November, and they were in lockdown in January, was it? So they've been affected for a while, so it's not that surprising that for the last 3 months they've been unable to pay. I mean, in New Zealand, we're seeing lots of companies, like legit good companies, letting go of people. And, the US lost, 6.5 million jobs last week. So I think there's a lot of struggling at the moment. So potentially waiting and seeing how things panned out may have been a good idea. I mean, I don't know how legit LF is. I don't really know anything about them, but I can understand why they're hurting right now.
KraV?
Yeah.
I don't understand anything of the answer of LF future. I think they want to make us sleep, really.
Yeah, the English was a little confusing. They kept referring to him as like the Dimitri Kostin.
Nah, I think the problem is simple. They pay him or they can't pay him. But if they can't pay him, give him a simple answer. I understand the situation is complex for the team due to the coronavirus, but that's maybe an hard situation for Happy. If you don't touch money since many months, you need to fix this situation with your player. It's important.
Yeah. Do you guys think that with what's happening with the coronavirus, there is an argument for a team to say, well, you can't play as many tournaments, in particular offline, so we're going to pay you less? Do you think maybe they should have gone for that? Since apparently they're saying that they couldn't work, which kind of hints that maybe they couldn't make money, but I don't really know how they make their money anyway. Like, they're supposed to have sponsors, and there's still online tournaments happening. And the reason LF didn't play in this tournament, I'm assuming, in the WGL Summer Team League, which is the big one going on right now, is that all these players were owed money, so I'm guessing they didn't want to play. And similarly, I think the same thing happened to Newbie as well. I heard that apparently they're owing money to players, and Lin, Lowlight, and 120, they're actually playing as like Team ELL in the WGL Team League. So apparently it's not only happening with Team LF. But personally, this statement, when I read it, I was like, this is super freaking scummy. Like, they're trying to paint him as the bad guy. They're like, hey, by the way, everybody was understanding except you about the situation. It's like,
yeah. And apparently that's not the case, because if everybody understood, they would have remained with the team.
Yeah, but even if it was, like, he's the one that's owed money. Like, they never told him, we're going to pay you less. They're just saying, oh, we'll pay you later. We'll pay you later. We'll pay you later. And then they're not paying him. Like, what? The phrasing was, like, absurd. And then the threat of, like, legal action was really, really silly as well, in my opinion. Like, the club also fully respects the players' own wishes and freedom of speech, but we also reserve the right to resort to law for any untrue statements. Like, so you're basically saying that up until now, he never said anything untrue. Well, that's cool. And, like, I mean, what do you think it is that he's going to say? Like, you don't have to write something like that in a statement. In my opinion, it feels like you're trying to threaten him to be careful what he says on social media. Like, to me, the whole thing, like, they keep writing stuff like, we fully respect the player's freedom of speech. This is the equivalent of, like, an employee walking into an office and getting flattered by his boss. He's like, oh, you've been doing a really good job, but yeah, I'm going to have to let you go. Like, like, you start really, really sweet, and then you go hard after that. Like, I really didn't like this whole statement from them, the way they didn't really justify anything. Like, they should have gone into more details. Like, what do they mean exactly they can't work because of coronavirus? There's still a shitload of tournaments happening online. Happy's playing them, and he's crushing. He's still winning everything, like, outside of China. Like, so I don't really get it, and I feel like we're probably never going to get it. I highly doubt that they're going to be saying any more than that, to be honest. So, and I hope that they pay him. You're supposed to pay the man. Like, how does this happen all the time in esports? And
you can't live off ESL Cups alone, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I like what you said, man. No honest company or no company that's truly honest has to ever threaten someone else with a lawyer.
Yeah, I think that's bad. That part of the end's bad. If you say anything untrue, we'll sue you, essentially.
Well, I think if somebody's slandering you, you can't threaten legal action. If somebody's, like, straight up lying and saying, like, really bad stuff. But if I look at Happy's statements, pretty much everything that he says, I see is being very realistic and true. And he didn't say anything, like, too crazy, like, and they never said anywhere that he had been lying about anything. So it's just really weird. It just feels like they're trying to intimidate him from saying any more. And also, I don't know what you guys think about this, but they also kind of mentioned that in a way that maybe he shouldn't have talked about the contract because maybe it's confidential and stuff. And on one hand, I understand, but at the same time, if the guy is not getting paid, like, what guarantees is he really being given? Like, do you see Happy hiring a lawyer in China, going there and actually like
No.
legally trying to sue those guys? That's just not going to happen.
If you can't even get a bank account in China, how the hell are you supposed to get a lawyer? Like, it's not happening.
So this is crazy. So yeah,
And since I see a lot of people in chat asking about the legitimacy and a team that no one has ever heard before, wasn't there in the statement? Weren't they part of a company like Lucky Future Entertainment Media? Maybe we could do some research one day and find out if that company actually exists in Hong Kong.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just the name of the company. Yeah, it doesn't tell us
Yeah.
much like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, just the whole post, like, I didn't completely rub me off the wrong way. Like, you know, they mentioned
No.
like one of the boss paid 400,000 RMB in advance and stuff to people. It's like, you're still not really explaining exactly what's happening. Like, how is coronavirus truly affecting you? Like, can't people that work for an esport team work from home anyway for the most part? Like, were you guys leaving from somehow the sale on t-shirts from a market that is now closed because of coronavirus? Like, explain what you mean with that, because like now it just seems like a bad excuse that's kind of like nonsensical in my opinion to justify a player that you didn't pay for like 3 months. And it sounds like a lot of money. Like, he said that the equivalent of everything that he was owed for all these tournaments is basically is owed the same for his salary. So I'm assuming that his salary is like really, really big in the many thousands of dollars. So they owe him a lot of money, basically. This is crazy.
I mean, I think we're going to see this sort of stuff happen a lot. I think companies give money as sponsorship when they've got extra money and spare money, and you know, they're sort of having fun with it. Whereas at the moment, companies are struggling and they're going to cut off sponsorship. Like, I know my company's, you know, sponsorship and stuff like that's the last priority right now. So I think we're going to see a lot of this sort of stuff happen,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. One
And
thing
sadly, there's still this one thing that Happy also admitted himself. Like, the players, sometimes even good players like Happy and smart people like Happy get baited or get tempted by the money, you know? When in after all is said and done, maybe it's not worth it to just go for the big salary and go for the big promise.
I mean, I don't know if there's a contract and everything. I think that's okay. I think what he meant was that, yeah, actually, I guess maybe that's what you're saying. I thought he meant more like he didn't say anything because he was greedy and he wanted to make sure that he got his money. But yeah, maybe you're right. Like, maybe he meant that he joined the team because...
Yeah, maybe the initial offer was sometimes too good to be true, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, looking at the tournaments he listed, that's about what, 40, 50k in winnings, and he's saying he's owed 3 months, and it's similar, so he's getting paid what, like 10, 15k a month, so it's a pretty sizable salary.
I don't think he's owed that much in tournaments, but maybe. I mean, like, if...
WGL Winter, he got second. That was like 25 grand or something.
Okay, let me tell you this: if his salary is above 10 grand, then he should have known this was going to end sometime soon. Because I don't think you expect to get his salary for too long. But yeah,
I mean, and I know in League of Legends and other games, it's pretty commonplace to be getting, you know, 100, 200 grand a year, even for, you know, not the top players. Guys like Faker are probably on like $1 million type thing. So maybe thought it was realistic.
Please, what is the situation for the other players of LF Future?
there's nobody.
They let them all
anymore.
go. I saw that. They let them all go.
The team is Warcraft. They closed the Warcraft 3 division.
Yes, but they live the same situation.
There's nothing said about that. They just say that we closed the Warcraft 3 team.
Okay.
So I'm guessing it's likely it might be similar for them, but I don't know. Maybe they got paid. Who knows?
I mean, they say further up, all players and staff aren't going to be paid until whatever date they say. So I'm guessing everyone in the whole team and company's been unpaid.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I'm like really sad to keep on seeing this kind of stuff happening even with Newbie.
Yeah.
Like, Newbie was like a sick team. They had sick gear, like shoes, everything. And they had an awesome team, yeah, with these guys, Lola, Lin, and 120. And apparently they're having similar problems. So it's very, very sad to hear. I wish in the future there can be like more stable environment for like a lot of pro gamers that actually get paid and communicate better with teams. And yeah, the whole thing about not being able to get paid because you don't have a bank account in China, like, I don't know what this is, but This is a little bit weird. I mean, maybe I should do the same in my tournaments. If a Chinese player goes deep and win, I'm like, oh, sorry, you don't have a bank account outside of China. Well, I can't pay. No, like, I mean, you can't do that. Like, this is ridiculous. A bank account's a bank account. Just transfer the man his money that he won. This is absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right, let's go.
There's a problem.
Sorry, go ahead.
There's a problem about doing like sort of business and being part of teams that aren't part of the country you're in. They can just sort of do this sort of stuff, and you don't really have any options. Like going public is really the only option. I mean, apart from going to China and hiring a lawyer, but that's pretty, unrealistic probably.
Yeah. Let's go into next topic then. Balance. Where do you guys think the balance is at right now? Kendric, I'm not sure how much you play exactly, but you cast quite a bit and you watch tournaments. Do you feel like you're content with the balance?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna comment on this from a observer / caster point of view, not so much as a player. Personally, I think two matchups strike me as a little bit unbalanced. That is Human Night Elf. It's getting a little bit better recently for the Night Elves. And that is also Undead Human. Hate to admit it, but I think humans are doing a little bit better too. I think maybe it just needs a little bit more time for the quote-unquote weaker faction to adjust. But these two matchups, I think, could need some work. I always thought Orc Undead was way worse too, but then I saw the data today by Pat and I'm mind blown, so maybe it's not as bad. From a viewing point of view, I think it's very cool at the moment. Like, you see so many different strategies. And almost weekly or bi-weekly, there's something new coming up. Like Side, for example, or other Undeads adapting now and playing Gargoyles so much and having great success with it. Ghouls in general, I think, are used much more now than they were a couple of months before. So I think it's very fun to watch in general, the game that is. So if you maybe look at those two matchups a little bit more, and maybe with the items, I'm not on Hawk level when it comes to adjusting items and stuff like that. I would definitely take a crystal ball and not leave, but maybe some of the items could need some tweaking, especially Sentry Wards. It's been said many times. It's just so strong. So many times we really see a game not being lost because a player had Sentry Wards and the other one didn't. So yeah, those are my 2 cents about it.
Sayso?
Yeah, I mean, I think the balance is quite interesting at the moment, where every race has quite a bad matchup. That sort of means once they get to that matchup, they seem to just lose, which makes it sort of quite rock paper scissors. Like, it seems like Orc just can't beat Night Elf on the top levels. I'd say Undead is struggling versus Orc. I mean, 120 bet Lin, but Lin didn't play meta, so I don't know how much that counts. And then Elf obviously struggles versus Human at the top level as well. But then again, Moon just beat 2 humans really easy, so maybe that's changing as well. But I think Human is not doing as well anymore. Human may be potentially last at the moment. But again, we're basing it off Sok, Chimiko, and Fortitude, because we haven't seen TH or Infi play at all, it seems.
True.
So it's hard to know whether or not, that's relative.
Yeah. We're finally going to see
the best.
a lot of them very soon, and it's going to be in the Team League, because they're playing in that. It's going to be best of ones, but at least we'll see them play, which is going to be cool.
Do you have any idea, Todd, why they're not playing at all? I've seen that question asked on a whole bunch of streams and stuff like that, and
I'm not
no
sure.
one's really said anything.
I know that TH had surgery. He had like the same thing as me, like a deviated septum. So he got a septoplasty and another thing, and that happened, I think, yesterday or before yesterday. Or actually, no, maybe like 3 days ago. And he streamed today, 2 days after his surgery, and his face looked completely fine. So basically, when you get a septoplasty for a deviated septum, you don't even get an incision like on the outside. It's literally like inside of the nose, so there is not even a scar. So he looks completely normal. And I messaged him on WeChat. Apparently, he's already breathing like well and stuff. So I guess it's good. I thought that was why he wasn't playing tournaments, but I don't know. Maybe they're saving strategies. Maybe the prize monies were not big enough for them yet. But I tell you what, in the WGL Summer Team League, the prize money is big enough. 120k, and they're going to be playing in that. And I expect to maybe get some inspiration from Human in there. But I know that before that, they played some tournaments and they didn't do very well. Like, TH was losing to a lot of people, to some elves here and there, like Loliet and stuff, getting wardened. And Infi also didn't have the easiest of times. But Sayso, how would you rank the races?
So I'd say Night Elf number 1 at the moment. Undead and Orc number 2, and probably Human worst. I think Human recently is.
It took us 11 episodes, but we got there.
Almost,
well, you're gonna have to be back on
the opposite.
Do you want to be my
even
co-host?
like a month ago?
Sorry, guys.
I mean, but that's just based off Sock, Kimiko, and Fortitude. So those guys are losing to, Colorful. They seem to definitely lose versus 120 and Happy, and they seem to lose versus Lynn, so they're losing versus all the races. And they're the best human players at the moment that we're seeing. So, yeah. I mean, I think, honestly, Human at the pro level anyway seems to be doing the best versus Undead. Like, Sock beat WFC 3-0.
Really?
But he's losing to Colorful, who I wouldn't rate very highly, typically.
What did you just say? Okay, let me find my TXT file where I put all the stats of the top Undead versus the top Humans. I didn't think I was going to have to use that, but after that last comment, I kind of feel like I have to now. So let me find that. There it is. This is not even up to date. I think Happy is like 34-4 or something since then against Hawk. So this is the top Undead versus the top Humans. One human player in the world has a winning record against 120. And 0 human players in the world have a winning record against Happy. And there's always going to be the argument of they're the best players, so of course they would have like a good record or whatever. And like some people are going to be like, oh, look at Infi, he has a winning record against 120 and he's tied against Happy. I mean, sure, I could do that, but if you look at the overall stats, these guys are just smashing human, really freaking hard.
I mean, if you take out everyone below Infi and TH for everyone, you'll see it's a lot closer. Like Happy 1-1 versus Infi, 4-2 versus TH, 8-12 versus Infi, and 8-6 versus TH. Like, that's pretty close. Like, I don't think it's... I mean, looking at people like, Johnny Cage versus Happy, for example, that's...
You don't think Johnny Cage is a very good player? That should be taken.
I think he's a very good player, but I don't think he's as good as Happy.
Okay. Well, apparently not, because he's 0-2, and apparently Hawk is not as good as Happy. Like, in my mind, Hawk is like, I rate him so high. Maybe like most people will think that I rate him too high, but the fact that Hawk would be, I think now it's even less than 32-2. I think Happy won like once or twice more after that against Hawk. Like, this is a clear indication that something's up there.
I mean, Hawk loses to Foggy every single time, and he seems to get smashed by him as well. So you'll probably see almost similar stats, and then Happy beats Foggy every time. So I think there is a clear skill difference. Like, Happy versus Europeans, I just think it's hard to look at those stats because he's just better than the Europeans.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Kendric, looking at the numbers, or?
Well, first of all, I'm not sure if I would rate Hawk that highly anymore. But yeah, I kind of agree with what Sayso said. It would be really interesting to just see more Asian involvement there. And I'm not sure, man, if it's hard. The situation in Europe is a little bit tricky because nobody can really dedicate as much time into it like Happy can and Foggy can. So there's always players that could maybe make it, that could live up to the standards there. Thinking of Cash, I think if Cash had as much time available as Foggy or Happy, he could maybe make it. But yeah, Happy is just a phenomenon, really.
Yeah.
And he's not. It's not just the fact that he's like I would say a genius in the way Moon is a genius at the game, for example. He just plays his own style. He just plays the one style, and he plays that to perfection with mechanical skills and great decision making. I just don't want to imagine what Happy could look like if he played several styles equally well, like Moon can.
KraV?
Yes.
Are you done talking to all the girls that were calling you? Or?
No, it's okay.
Can you tell us about Undead versus Elf, Orc, and Human? What do you think about all those matchups? And then rank the races.
Actually, I think the rank currently is Undead. human, orc, and night elf.
That's best to worst?
Yes, indeed, best and night elf worst, of course. But for me, like I said before, the balance is really nice. When you play Undead, you can play Fiends or play Ghouls. So
Yeah, but can you talk to me a little bit about each matchup? Like, what do you think about Undead versus Night Elf? What do you think about Undead versus Human? Like, one by one.
one by one. What you want? I say you my strategy. What?
No. I mean, like, what do you think, like, Undead versus Night Elf balance, for example, or
But
like
like
the
I
matchup?
say against night elf, it's okay. It's really Undead against human, more harder against orc too. Orc human, it's hard to play against them. And yes, I can say you only this. Sorry, I am a bit. I need to
Yeah.
sleep, I think.
Wait, we're almost done here. It's only this, then the
Yeah,
Q&A.
sorry.
So you say Night Elf is the best race?
No, the worst.
Ah, okay.
Indeed, yes.
So you say
Yes,
Undead is the
indeed.
best race?
Yes, for me, yes, actually, yes. Like we can see,
Yeah. All right.
with actually 1-2-0. Mhm.
Let's do our last one. It's going to be the Q&A. So we're just going to take a very few questions from the chat. So if you guys have a question, now is the time. Shoot. We'll take a few of them and then we'll do some shout outs. And then I'll let you guys go to bed and except Sayso. I'll let you start your day. Well, what time is it for you? Like 9 a.m.?
It's 9 a.m. now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Death Knight 22 asks, Todd, question for the guests. Why everyone say Elf is the weakest race when Demon Hunter runs down Archmage and Warden abusers? How Human is the best race from Undead player? I just see last podcast, same answer, lol. Say so.
I mean, I definitely don't think Night Elf's the worst race. I think Night Elf seems to be beating everyone except for Undead. The Lyot went through everyone in that Hewer League, whatever it was. He beat Chimiko, he beat Fortitude, and then he just lost to 1-2-0. So, and you see Moon last night beating everyone, and in the other tournament, he went through his group both times. So, I definitely don't think Night Elf's the worst race.
Kendric?
I don't know if I want to respond to this because I didn't get the question for in the first place.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think I'm the best source for these kinds of balanced discussions. I think Night Elves, I mean, if you look at the results on the top tier level, Foggy couldn't make it to the finals all the time if Night Elf was truly this weak. Moon couldn't be that good continuously. I really think it's just Night Elves have a lot of inspiration, and maybe they should take more of the pages of these players' books.
Yeah. Only Jock Wilson asks, quick round, each name one item that should be cheaper / more expensive. Actually, that's a good question. We haven't really talked about the items. I think, or in the previous shows, I've talked about them quite a bit, but I think a lot of items should be giving more golds. Maybe all of them even. I think it like sucks so much when you find a ring in the start of the game and you have almost no reason to sell it because it gives almost no gold. So you like save it for your second hero if you feel like it. But, you know, damage items are almost always better. So I feel like these items, they should cost more. The tier 2 and tier 3 as well. Like you find Crystal Ball or you find a useful item. You find like a sick aura or you find like Helm of Valor or whatever. It makes such a big difference. And it's the same thing. You can't really sell it for a lot of gold. Sayso, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the items are a pretty big point of balance. Like, I think what items you get in a particular game or what items your opponent gets can often change the whole game. I think Wand of the Wind should be removed. I think it's just a broken item and it just changes games all the time. And I think Speed Scroll's too cheap. I think it should be 100 or 150 gold. It's just too easy for them to just spam it. Now, when I play versus Orc, and I know they do the same thing versus Human, they have like 2 or 3 Speed Scrolls, and they just, you know, you can just never catch them. They just come to your base and do whatever, then just Speed Scroll out. So I think that's too cheap. Those are probably the 2 items I have the biggest issues with, I think. Wand of the Wind and Speed Scroll.
So how would you fix Speed Scroll?
I think if it was 100 gold, that may be fair, and then maybe a slightly longer cooldown. But definitely 50 gold is too cheap. It's like, how often have you played versus an orc and you TP and they speed scroll out and you get no units because of speed scroll and you wasted a TP?
Every day.
Like, that's just, yeah, like that happens to me all the time as Undead. It's something me and Todd can agree with, because orc does the same thing to both of us, and you got no way to, root them or net them or whatever, so they just run away and you just get nothing.
Mr. Shiggy asked, do you like the meta changes? Rifles being popular, shamans being popular, farseer viable in some cases. I think it's good for the meta to change sometime. Like, you don't want the same meta for like 12 years, I think it's like a little bit stale and boring where you're only seeing Blade, Shadowhunter 1-1-1 every single game. So I think it's fun, but I can't help but think that a TC5 stomping my entire army for 5 seconds with a 6 seconds cooldown is not that fun on the other hand. So yeah, there is some good and there is some bad in there for sure. Who is the best player in the world for each race? All right,
Classic.
KraV is getting food. Kendric, take this one.
Are we going current shape or are we going all time?
I think he meant current shape, but up to you.
Okay. Yeah, current shape. I would say Undead 120, Night of Moon, Human Todd. Please invite me again. And Orc. I think it's dude. No, Lin is not. I think Lin lost too much. Fly.
Wow. The controversial one here with 120
it's really
instead of
current.
happy.
I mean, it's really at the moment.
Yeah. Sayso?
Undead 120 as well. I think he's definitely playing better than Happy right now. Orc would be Fly. I think Lin looks pretty weak versus Undead and Elf. Human would be Imphy. I mean, we haven't seen him for 2 months, but when we did see him, he won that whole tournament and 3-0 Happy. So, that's what I'll base it off. And then Night Elf is Moon, pretty obviously.
What about you, KraV?
Happy, Undead, Lin, Orc, Night Elf, Moon, and Human, maybe Todd, yes, maybe Todd. Of course.
You motherfuckers.
No.
Yeah, actually, I agree. Like, I feel like I'm kind of going for like the guys that were doing well before that, Like, even though Fly and 120 are doing good right now, I feel like it's hard to go against Happy. So I still feel like Happy and Lin are on top, in my opinion, for Undead and Orc. But obviously, Fly and 120 have been playing really well. For Human and Night Elf is pretty straightforward. It's been Infy by far. And Moon. But in the past, TH for a long time was the best Human, so I'm excited to see if he can kind of bring that back now that he's had surgery. He can breathe and sleep better, and I will be very excited to follow his upcoming games. Yeah. I think that's going to be it, guys. Let's just do some shout-outs, and then we can all get some rest, and Sayso can get his day going. Searching game, like Hitman was looking for you in the chats. He wanted you to search, so... There you go.
Yeah, I've been avoiding him on ladder, and it's going to continue. I lost 13 games versus him in a row like 2 days ago. So after that, punishing him, staying away from him.
Yeah. All right, Sayso, go first. Where can people follow you, stream, social media, anything? You don't have Twitter, do you? Get it together, man.
No. Yeah, maybe one day. If you want to follow me,
stay away from it.
There's just my stream. But I don't stream too often, but I'll try to do it more often.
What's your stream?
Just Sayso NZ. It's the same as my username in the chat.
Kendric?
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It was really cool. And people can find me looking for Kendric Swish on every social media, Twitch, Twitter. Don't think I have a Facebook under that name. Yeah, shoutouts to everybody who's keeping the scene alive. And making it even thrive. I think the ladder is a blast, and it's bringing so many people back, motivating a lot of people. So special shout outs to Pad and the team that's working on his projects.
And yeah, Kendric Swish, that's KendricSwissa. page. That's very important.
What the heck was I thinking when I made that name? God damn it.
So it's on the overlay here, but a lot of people, they watch this on a podcast, so I spelled it out for you. You can follow him everywhere. You got a YouTube as well, right? You post a bunch of stuff on there.
Oh, no, I'm not using that anymore.
Not so much?
I do YouTube for Heroes Hearth, man. Almost forgot them. Heroes Hearth Warcraft 3. That's Heroes Hearth WC3 on the YouTubes. Check them out. We do weekly content, and it's a lot of fun.
And the podcast is on Heroes Hearth, right?
Yes. Podcasts, videos, fight night. Yep.
It's called Fast Expand, I believe. Is that
That's
the one?
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. KraV?
Yes, thank you all for listening us. Thank you for you, Todd, for inviting me. Sorry for my bad English, of course. If you want to see me a bit later, come on Twitch TV. It's a KraV, like WC3.
And you use Twitter as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but your Twitter is also KraV WC3, I believe. Do you use any other social media or
Mm-hmm.
any Facebook?
Yes, Facebook. I have, but I am not really on Facebook. On Twitter, yes, of course. You can type KraV/WC3 like on Twitch.
Yeah. How often do you stream?
It depends of my time. Actually, I stream the night because I have more time.
Yeah.
But sometimes the morning. It depends really of the day what I have to do. But the night, you can find me the night.
Okay.
Tonight.
All right. Thank you, guys. It was a
Okay.
pleasure. And
Thank you.
I wish you all a good night,
Thank you,
good
Todd.
day, and I'll see you around. And I'll put all of your links under the video on the YouTube for people to follow you. Take care, guys.
Thanks. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Cheers,
Bye,
Todd.
guys.
Thank you for the invite.
Good sleeping. Good night. Good dreams.
See you later.
All right, guys. Yes, this was a fun show. Very good bunch of guests. Make sure to check them out, give them a follow. I believe for all the viewers that are around and that want to watch more content, there's going to be a show match taking place in a second on A Pillow of Wind's channel. I will most likely host him after this, if he's already on. But yeah, great show with these guests. Give me a second so I can prepare proper outro. Yeah, there it is. So, thanks again to all my guests for joining me. If you want to find more of their content, be sure to check them out. If you are enjoying the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. This helps us cover production costs, such as podcast hosting, and continue providing this content. This podcast is live now on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, SoundCloud, and many, many more. So if you wish to have this show delivered to you in an audio format, just search for Todd's Town Meeting on your favorite platform. Visit the Patreon page at patreon.com/ToDGaming. Supporters get the YouTube show VODs and podcast emailed to them ASAP. YouTube VODs are public a day later. Actually, for this show, I think we're going to do 2 days now. And for any tutorials that I make, it's going to be a week later public for everybody. And I recently posted my first one. It's a human fast expansion versus Warden tutorial on Echo Isle using a replay of I think it was Chemico versus Lowlight, which has just been made public on YouTube today, but was made available on my Patreon a week ago. So make sure to check that out. But yeah, there is quite a few perks. Priority Q&A questions, Discord perks, monthly replay packs for the Rifleman and above. I just sent a replay pack as well yesterday with 135 replays. So this includes like my recent 2-on-2 tournaments, all those replays. Which actually, we didn't talk about it. Oh my god. Maybe I'll do a quick review as well after this. Custom recorded voice message you can use for a stream alert, voicemail greeting or whatever. Ability to cast votes for the future direction of my tutorial contents. And you can submit replays for me to analyze live on stream and much more. Actually, somebody submitted one very recently and I will have a look soon on my stream and give a little bit of pointers. Hop into my Discord and follow my Twitter for updates. Subscribe to YouTube for show VODs and game highlight videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week. And actually, I cannot believe I didn't list my own tournament. Maybe I skipped it by accident or something. But yeah, my tournaments, the 2-on-2 tournaments, tag team number 2, has been going. And we had only one single play day take place so far. And Team Drunken Masters were able to beat Team Not From This Planet. So that was Blade, Cooper, and Caspen beating Foggy and Hawk and Cash, who I think were the favorites. Myself, Side, and Death Note were able to defeat Star-Shaped Knopf and Thorzane with a 2-1 score as well. And in the other group, we had team number 1. So Neutron Spiral and 1 beats Chic, Sonic, and Bizarre. And team Back to the Lobby, Hoshi, Kiwikaki, and Insuperable with a very convincing 3-0 versus Pinker, Jeo, and Edo. So very convincing. And this week, starting I think on Thursday, the matches are going to be spread out. I'm going to post the full schedule soon. We're going to have Team Not From This Planet, aka Foggy Cash Hawk, versus Team Macro Musketeers, aka Starbucks Pocky the Muslim, and Team Drunken Masters, Caspens, Cooper, and Blades versus Star-Shaped Knopf Thorzane. And we'll have 1 Neutron and Spiral versus Long Walk, We Are Falls, and Switch, Chic, Bizarre, and Sonic versus Jehu, Pinker, and Edo Boy. So I'll be posting about this on my Discord and social media. Make sure to follow it. And yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you for tuning in. Much love, everyone. Good night.